Is it a smart idea to go back and apologize for racist stuff you said in the past? See, my aim is to catch everybody off guard with the very first thing I talk about. And I think more often than not, I do. Because that leads straight into our first topic, which is possibly one of the biggest ones we've talked about, which is about the YouTuber iDubbbz, who has come out with a video apologizing about and basically explaining about things he has done in the past and about how he's grown as a person and how that doesn't represent him anymore. And he has been met since with a whole wave of different responses, a lot of them being ones that are, you know, completely against him and completely against what he said and how he doesn't need to apologize. And for anyone who's unaware, he's apologizing for ones where he has said the N-word multiple times. Any use of that in the past, he's apologized for. There was he made I don't know if any of you've seen it, but Content Cop, the series he made where he would basically find another YouTuber and dig up dirt on him and put him on full blast. Yeah. Personally, I used to love watching those because it was because drama's really interesting to watch and fun to watch, and it was kind of wild times. But he's come out and the one he specifically said he's apologized for is a Content Cop on Tanamongu, which in it, for anyone who hasn't seen it, he books tickets to see her at a convention.
TanaCon, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was TanaCon, but I think it was when she was out on I think it was one of the meet and greets she did.
Yeah, some meet and greet event.
Yeah, and he rocks up, like he pays for a ticket, he travels like all this distance to go see her, pulls up next to him for the picture, he goes, say, like as in saying to it, like instead of say cheese, he says say, and then he just drops the hard R. Just right next to it. And his whole...
not a Linus hard R either.
No, not the Linus hard R, no. The N-word hard R. And the whole point of that video and him doing that was him saying she has said this in the past and not apologized. And, you know, gotcha sort of thing.
Kind of ironic coming from him though, isn't it?
Yes. The person who's...
I think his distinction was, I say it because I'm trying to be funny. You say it because you're racist.
Well, his famous catchphrase was two slurs put together.
Yeah, I mean, his famous catchphrase was, it's either all okay or none of it's okay.
That was one of the ones in the videos as well, yeah. Saying, and he specifically said that, either every slur is okay or none of them are. But it's just wild. And he came out, apologized about all of this.
This is like 7 years later.
Yeah.
And nobody asked him to apologize either.
No.
Which I think is, you know, most YouTuber apologies are like, they are pressured to apologize. He literally went, man, I feel shit about how I used to be, and apologized unprompted. I think it's more of like his thoughts, because a lot of people will complain about iDubbbz's content. They're like, he's not the same guy he used to be. His content sucks now. He's woke. He's a cuck. Anissa changed him. You see that one a lot. And I don't know. I think if you ask most people, right, if you're making content that you now hate and it doesn't represent you, and every time you make it, you feel miserable, do you think you'd let your audience pressure you into keep making it?
No.
Exactly. You wouldn't.
Trash.
Exactly.
Because I'd still be doing well.
Oh God, you're in a good place now, but yeah, you would be. And
Obviously, that isn't even remotely comparable. But
not at all.
I don't know. I don't see the. It's a weird drama, isn't it?
It's very
really
strange.
weird because
it's weird to be upset about someone apologizing for saying such crappy things.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are trying to. I think the problem is that his old content, some of it's really good. The Content Cops were pretty decent at exposing like how shitty some people are.
Yeah.
But because he also wanted to be edgy, and he's dropping in slurs while doing it. If it didn't have them, the content would probably stand up even till today. So I think you got a lot of people who are like, I really like his old content. I don't like that he's changing. I have to try and defend this because I want to defend who he used to be.
Yeah.
Like, And you don't have to. You can literally be like, I prefer your old content, but I'm glad you're also changing as a person.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of this has to do with like just the pure hatred for Anissa.
It's actually incredible. So his wife.
His partner does OnlyFans content.
Oh.
So as you can imagine, a lot of men just hate her.
Okay.
Just for doing it.
They have various reasons. They're like, oh, because it's one, she does OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Two, Ian's changing, right? He's not doing his edgy jokes or content anymore.
Oh, the female fault. Oh, she's changing him.
He's not doing like content cops. He doesn't seem invulnerable to other YouTubers as well. I think there's that Sam Hyde guy really like bothers him.
That was
and
a
you can
really
tell how much it hurts him.
thing. Because he was basically like the thing with Sam Hyde was wild as well because he was basically like recording something like a content cop on Sam Hyde and talking about all this. And I was watching through that video when it came out, and I think it got to about 3/4 of the way through, and then he was like, he'd spent a bunch of time with him and done all this and gone to see how he'd done. So I don't think it was something else. It was like a documentary kind of thing he'd done. And he's done it with other ones in the past. But anyway, he got about 3/4 of the way through, and he was like, I've been with him for about, I think it was like 3 or 4 days. And everything he had told me, absolutely everything, was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he'd like shown me as his offices, all his friends, everything was a lie. They were all paid actors. They were all this. They were all that. They were the other. All to dupe me into this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really like weird, like what the fuck. And Sam Hyde had basically like planned all of this to like get the guy who gets people.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and I was like, this fucking man is an absolute maniac. Holy shit. And it was really weird. And then after that, because iDubbbz had drama with him about that boxing event and that Froggy Fresh guy that people kept talking about.
I think Sam Hyde has been relentless against iDubbbz for years now.
Yeah.
Years and years and years.
Constant.
I mean, I think iDubbbz would harass a creator for like as long as it takes to make that video, right?
Yeah.
Sam Hyde is like personal, isn't it? It's been years.
There's like he banned iDubbbz banned Sam Hyde from his boxing event, and the reason he kicked the Froggy guy out was because he was associating with him, and he was like, if you're not like, I don't want him tied to anything to do with this because he was consistently and constantly making videos and comments and remarks on streams, on videos, and all this about iDubbbz's wife, about like throwing so much hateful stuff towards her just for being her, which was really weird. And you mentioned about the whole people calling him a cuck, and that was because of the OnlyFans stuff. Funny thing as well is he had a video way back when called Sewer Review, where he climbed in a sewer with a jar of pickles and ate them.
Yeah.
It was really weird. It was kind of iconic because it was very, very bizarre.
Pool review.
Huh?
Pool review. If it's bizarre
I
and
need to
kinda
do that
funny,
at some point, bro.
yes.
Okay. But to go back to the sewer review.
Sorry, let's not talk about poop yet.
But with the sewer review, one of the things that happened is somebody had found the location he had done it and spray painted cuck in the exact position he had been in that video.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, these people are fucking relentless. To go out of your way to find this location for a video, to hate on this person's... Like, huh? I think the whole OnlyFans stuff and people hating on that is definitely deeply rooted in like their own insecurities and their own jealousy and stuff, which I don't know if I'd be able to handle it, but like...
Yeah, a lot of people be like...
I don't hate anyone for that.
If iDubbbz's girlfriend is doing OnlyFans and we have to accept it, then that means my girlfriend might do OnlyFans, and I don't want to accept that. And it's okay to not want to be in a relationship with someone doing OnlyFans, but at the same time, you should also be okay that others are fine with it.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a really mature thing to have gone
pretty
to
like
the point he's
insecure fear. Like, if I accept this, I have to accept it for myself.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
don't.
You don't.
When you get into a relationship, you talk about boundaries.
It's almost like communication between partners is an incredibly important thing that people should be doing.
Vital.
Vital. I know, it's wild, isn't it? Oh my God. But to go back to the thing, he apologized for all this. Not peer review. Pew, fuck off. I go into churches and I review their pews, sit down on them, like, this is uncomfortable. Anyway, to go back to the original thing, he came out, apologized for all this. He was apologizing to his, black fans, to like all these different people that he had like insulted over the years. And one of because I watched the video earlier, and I kind of like, I was really quite surprised, but he was talking about how recently in the last couple of years he's developed empathy, and he thought he always had it, but he actually didn't, because he's developed it recently, and he actually understands like the pain that other people are in, and wants to show compassion towards them. And I was like, holy shit, that's a really, like, for somebody to come out, and I was like, huh. But one of the biggest parts of all of this drama as well, apart from all of the people who have hated on him for it, is that somebody we've spoken about before, which is Moist Critical, so Charlie, made a video about the video, basically going, didn't need to apologize. It was just edgy jokes, like
in
I'm
the past.
cutting it down, but he was
it
just
was like, this is normal in 2016. Didn't really make it okay, but it's a really weird video.
It was really weird.
Like, he's just like, why is he apologizing? Why are you doing this? I disagree. Yeah. He was stuff like, because I know Ian was like, oh, if you gradually change your content, I thought people would accept it, but that's not the case. And he's like, yeah, it is. He's like, if you gradually change your content, then you're weeding out like the old audience.
Yeah.
But iDubbbz' case is different. Like, these are hardcore, like, really into his content.
People's.
What was it? I think Soviet Womble once said, like, your biggest fans could be your biggest enemies.
Yeah.
And these people have become his biggest enemies. They will follow him anywhere to harass him because he is not the guy he was anymore.
Yeah.
If he had like changed a little bit, maybe they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But like you put everything together, like he changed while having his partner who does OnlyFans, and people latched onto that. Like, they just become really big haters of his. So you can't just gradually change. You have to outright say, like, don't want to be a cup of tea.
It's almost like he's, over the years developed these different things. And as you sort of said, it's like, well, he has to announce he's changed because people just aren't getting it. People are, I think he said a story about how he's like, I don't know, going down the street or something, and people yelling slurs at him because they're his fans.
Yeah.
And it's
they would do the Tanner thing to him, wouldn't they?
Yeah. And like, imagine just fucking living your life going down the street and like people are just yelling these things at you that you don't.
Yeah, a lot of this
You've kind of grown past.
A lot of this drama also started with him going on. Who's the guy from Smosh? Anthony Padilla?
Anthony, yeah.
So he went on his podcast.
Yeah.
And people, because I've seen that clip, like they clipped it well out of context.
Yeah.
There's like a whole, like a minute before then that proper explains it.
Oh, was Anthony interviewing iDubbbz?
Yeah, and he basically, like, he called them, like, basement dwellers, some of his old fans. And, like, people are like, yeah, you cultivated that. But if you watch the full clip, he literally does say, like, I cultivated this. So it was a very clipped out of context moment.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of it started there, and it just got worse and worse and worse. But I don't know, it's a weird thing to, like, for drama to be over. It's like, you got one side where he's like changing and he wants to be a better person. You got the other side being like, hey, say slurs.
Yeah. People fucking quote our comments to us, like things from the past. I don't know, like the one for me anyway, where the morale one.
Yeah.
Imagine instead of that quote, people just yelled a slur at me.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, what the fuck? Especially if you feel bad for something that's already happened and you've put it to bed and you've put it in the past and people kept bringing her up to you, you're like,
you definitely want to make a change. You don't like, that makes sense if you apologize then.
It's like people care too much. It's like, if you don't like someone's content, stop watching. Just go watch someone else.
Yeah.
But if you're complaining that someone's content changed, it's more than just the content to you.
Well, it's the whole, they've built up this relationship with the person that doesn't exist.
The parasocial.
Yes,
This
but
parasocial relationship, yeah.
content creators will never be your friends. You don't know them, they don't know you.
there's a very, very, very tiny minority of people who actually cross the threshold into being mates with people that they have.
It's
and
like
that is random.
Or marry your best friend.
Point to the fucking 10 noughts degree.
What did you hold on? What did you say?
Or marry your best friend.
Or marry your best friend. Oh yeah, that was
Lonky.
True. Yeah. So sometimes there are fans that you meet and years later they marry your best friend. Yes.
yeah. That was straight. Okay, we need to fucking get. So me and Kaif had met a fan at Gamescom. What, like 4 or 5 years ago?
Gamescom.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
it was
his
Gamescom.
I
said con.
Gamescom, you said.
Oh, okay,
and
fine.
his friend was also with him, which was Lonica.
I thought she was the fan.
The fan was her friend. I think she was sort of a fan.
She got pictures with us. She was the fan.
Yeah, but there's also another guy in it.
Was there?
Yeah, the guy really wanted to come up.
Really?
Yeah, and she was with him.
Oh, all right. Anyway, we met her. This person
Gamescom.
who was a fan at the time. Well, still is, I'd imagine. Probably.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And 5 years later, she's married to Dale.
You won't be
Hello,
that
Lonica.
guy, Chatter.
She's the one who makes our thumbnails as well. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks, Lon.
Yes. So apart from the very, 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 very minor times where that would happen, it's not gonna happen. And
Nah.
too many people have this like idea in their head that it's going to, and you know, they mean something to me and I mean some sort of thing, which is really sad.
Yeah, I see. Like I saw people complaining that he's unlisting the content costs and stuff, and it's like he doesn't care for it anymore.
Yeah.
Like if you really care about it, just re-upload it. But it's unlisted, so if you have the link, you can still watch it.
That was one of the points he made.
He's basically just not allowing the algorithm to keep pushing this stuff.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of these content cops, he did say stuff like it's either all okay or it's not okay, and that is
it's a very dangerous thing to teach people.
Yeah, that is literally teaching your fans to, you know, go out there and be like, say all slurs because it's either all okay or it's not okay.
Because he in the video also said that this content he made and all the following he had like it wasn't to all of them, but there is a majority, or there is a part of the community he had fostered that has basically been indoctrinated into this idea of, as you said, all okay on man and using these things and everything. And it's really damaging when you think of, like, I don't know, he's dropped a stone in the water and the waves that ripple out are the, you know, effects it's had on other people, where it could have been anyone. Like somebody, it's just a very dangerous precedent.
Yeah. I think it's something Moist Critical said as well. It's like, you didn't create edgy internet humor.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, you certainly didn't fucking help, did he?
Well, I was
he
really
had millions of subscribers.
literally millions.
And it has millions of views.
And there were a lot of people, because as I said, his catchphrase was the N word and then the F slur right after each other together.
Yeah.
And he'd say it like all the time. And it's the amount of people that would spam his comments with that, or would say it elsewhere, would do it here, there, wherever the place. And you think, well, it's hard not to say that didn't have an effect, because there's definitely people who he told a story about how one of the things that originally started it was he was meeting fans, and a trans fan come up to him and was like, I know you don't like, you don't like trans people, but can I have a picture? And he was like, oh fuck, like
that's a really big like, oh fuck moment,
yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
like he obviously doesn't dislike them, but to have somebody come and confront him for the behavior he's done, like not even confront face, but to like have a flashlight be shown on it, it's like, oh shit. But what with the critical thing, I wrote down one of the quotes he'd said, where he had said that he said he shouldn't apologize, and that at the time it was just edgy internet humor, it wasn't that big of a deal. And you're like, oh, holy shit.
But he did, so Moist Critical did make another video the next day where he was sort of like, I think some of you misinterpreted me. I don't know if, I haven't finished watching it. I think I watched like 10, 15 minutes of it.
Okay.
And he was sort of like trying to re-explain what he actually meant.
Yeah.
I know he said sorry at one point for the way he thought iDubbbz was pressured into this apology, but it was unprompted.
Okay.
So he was like, I am sorry that I saw it that way. I need to finish watching the rest, but I guess there was a lot of pushback on Charlie because to make a video the next day being like, okay, here's the continuation.
It's kind of weird, mind you, because people can obviously speak out of turn, and coming and addressing it afterwards is a very good thing. There's been times where even in podcasts or something, I've said something meaning it one way, and then I listen back to it and I'm like, oh fuck, that didn't hit the mark of what I actually meant. So like, and I don't know, I've had comments where people think I've said something a certain way, and I'm like, I have to explain it afterwards. I'm like, oh, okay.
Do you feel a lot of people when they listen to stuff you say, if it doesn't agree with what they think, they will try to frame what you said in the worst absolute possible way in order to then argue the point that you never made? Happens a lot with me. Like in everything I do, they'll like take something I said like 4 years ago, change what I said, and then argue with it. And at that point, you're like, you're arguing with yourself, bro, because I didn't say that.
They're basically just they've made a little punching bag that they want to fight.
Yeah,
and that's the argument.
How's your face on
a lot of people make an invisible enemy and then say you're that.
Yeah,
you that.
I think it's really healthy and good, mind you, with iDubbbz to have made this, because a lot of people don't show the growth they've done to people, and it's really, for me anyway, it's really nice to see somebody who has grown and it's like, oh look, this wasn't right. Like there's not many people who would apologize and kind of go, yeah, this was wrong. I've done this now and changed, and it's just nice to see, and especially because he says about like the empathy thing I was saying, is he says like, guys, if it's fucking good, it's really nice to have that empathy for other people and that compassion, and it's nice. It was just refreshing to see, but I didn't expect it from iDubbbz of all people.
Yeah.
Years later.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is iDubbbz Joji?
No, that's his
Who's
friend.
Joji?
Joji is Filthy Frank.
Oh.
Yeah.
Same
Who
person?
I guess has also changed, probably.
Yeah. Have you seen him on stage?
No.
That people keep, whenever there's like a clip of him on stage, he does like the most bizarre stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a clip of him on stage, like on TikTok or something, where he's doing something bizarre, people constantly say the same meme where they're like, the pink guy suit is in his closet, like Green Goblin, where he's like, he gets home and he's like, no, no. He's definitely, I think he did come out and like basically like put it like oh, look, that's not I won this now, and has evolved, and is one of the fucking biggest artists at the moment as well. Joji's massive. I fucking love his music and everything. And
I like his microwave song.
Microwave song?
The TikTok thing where people rotate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's been really nice seeing how he's kind of evolved and everything. And personally, I was a big fan of like Filthy Frank back in the day, because it was a similar sort of thing as the iDubbbz stuff. It was very like
mental.
Yeah.
All of that content was
absolutely
mental.
Crazy.
Like the hair, is it hair cake?
Hair cake. Yeah. Hair cake. Oh mate, I almost threw up watching Hair Cake, and they made Human Cake, where they got bits from different YouTubers. They've got I think they got, I don't know, they cut like Markiplier's hair.
I think they got a pube from him, didn't they?
I think that was it.
Yeah.
They'd like gotten bits and pieces from all sorts. They had Joey Salad's piss. They had all these different things, and then put it in a cake and ate it, and it's disgusting. They made 3 of those videos.
Oh,
they made Hair Cake, they made Human Cake, and I can't remember what the third one was, but it was disgusting.
And they did milk challenges as well, where they dyed the milk. Was it?
Ew.
I think so, yeah.
And then they kept vomiting it out.
Yeah.
So it'd be colourful.
Ew.
It was. Dude,
They're
I
puking
fucking
rainbows.
love. We're literally having, me and Evs are having the complete opposite reactions. I'm like, I fucking love this gross shit, and Evs is like, ugh. And Stan not happy at all.
Sorry, I've not really said much about like any of this in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think you know anything about the creators, do you?
I know a bit about iDubbbz, right?
Yeah.
But like my opinion of the topic is, it's great that he apologized.
Yeah.
Why is there drama about it? There's literally no point. He showed growth, and it sounds to me that he made the video because it weighed on his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, I think it's great that he was able to speak about it and put that out there and apologize to people, because it obviously weighed on him a lot. And the fact that he's getting backlash about it is just stupid.
It's insane.
That's what, like, I got nothing more than that.
I suppose it's one of those situations, right, where the apology would be accepted if his old content was shit.
Yeah.
But since people think his old content was great, they don't want him to apologize for it. But there is some, there's quite a few fucked up things about his old content.
Yeah. There definitely is. The amount of...
Because I only watched the content cops, so I don't know what else he did.
Oh, mate.
But it makes it sound like there was more.
Well, a lot of the older stuff he did, like, it was the same sort of thing where he would... It was good content, and then it was, like, the bad stuff was, like,
he would sprinkle the slurs in.
Exactly. It was, like, sprinkled... It was, like, a really good donut with all this bad stuff sprinkled on top. But, like, he'd made, like, his old thing that he got big from originally was Kickstarter crap, where he would go through Kickstarters and find god-awful ones and just blast them and, like, see where they were now and all of that. And it was just a really fun thing to watch him dunk on people's Kickstarters that were just, like, scams or were just really shit. And then they got more and more to different things. And, yeah, it was interesting.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
If he's like, if fans are like coming up to him and doing the N-word selfie thing, right? And obviously, like, you cringe. You're like, oh, that's in the past. I want to move past that.
Yeah.
If he apologizes, which sort of causes the drama, and he probably knows he's going to cause the drama.
Yeah.
But he's going to put a stop to the people and make people second guess doing the
whole thing.
They're quoting his old stuff now.
I think I'd agree.
I think the people who hate him will keep doing it.
Probably, but those are the awful people. Then
they'll do it out of spite now instead.
Yeah.
I think it's just a very much a. I've tried to grow, and try to show change in the videos I've made, but people aren't getting it. So, like, for me and for them, I'm gonna draw a line in the sand and go, look, that's enough.
Yeah.
Because some of his other stuff, he does documentaries on people, like the Sam Hyde one I said. There's another one called Full Force, which is fucking awesome. And it is about like an hour-long documentary where he follows this person called Airsoft Fatty, who is like this really, really overweight guy who loves Star Wars and makes content at like really, like, it's cringy content. It's like him role-playing with his mates in the back garden and stuff. And he follows him and, like, stays nearby and goes to see it, like, over, like, the course of, like, a week or something. Really, really well done or well-directed content about all this. It's just fascinating to see. Mm-hmm. He's done things on multiple different people. And it's really nice. It's nice to see that growth instead of, taking down somebody else for the stuff they said. And even though it sometimes felt nice to watch him expose other people, like Rice Gum, for instance, was one of his content cops.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, I don't think he needed exposing. I think he did it to himself.
He did. And there was like, I think he did one on Keemstar as well as Leafy, for instance. All the names. Yeah.
I mean, Keemstar 100% deserved it.
He 100% did. And more often than not, the channels of these people after the fact would just not die, but basically just drop massively. Apart from Keemstar, who just fucking built it all back up because people love his, edgy
awful
kind of I hate everyone sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really weird how somebody's trying to better themselves, and not everybody. There's a large majority of people trying to shame him for bettering himself.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels really shit to see. But I was really surprised because Charlie, so Most Critical Charlie. I was surprised when I looked at it how many videos he makes on random drama. It's basically like one a fucking day of just sitting there talking about different dramas.
Yeah, he finds like really
20
niche,
minutes.
childish drama, which is really funny to listen to.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
And it was really weird because people were taking parts
Most Critical here.
out of the video he'd made, and I was like, that's a really usually has pretty good takes, but I was like, that's a really shit take.
He has
Holy
the
crap.
everyman take.
What kind of take?
The everyman take. It's like us. We have like lukewarm takes. I think most people can just generally agree. You know, it's nothing spicy.
Wait, we have lukewarm takes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're not hot takes, not cold. They're just in the middle.
They're just sort of like, yeah, I think most people can agree with that. Seems
Yeah.
reasonable, you know.
It's one of the things
the
the
normie
he
take
does is it seems like he waits for the drama to kind of like checks what everybody sort of
Is
says,
saying.
and it's like that's what I think, and then makes a video on it, which is
And everyone's
interesting.
like, yeah, we agree.
Yeah, exactly.
You're all guy.
Exactly. Hey Stan, you alright?
Hi.
So yeah, it was a really weird thing to kind of see about, and the whole stuff about iDubbbz is like wild. Even the OnlyFans stuff with Anissa and
it is all mental.
It's
And
crazy.
it must be in like a corner of the internet that just has those views, because I think most average people will be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I would recommend for anybody who's at all wondering about all this to go and watch like the video he's done, the apology video he's done. It's literally called "I Miss the Old iDubbbz," and then he talks about all of
If you don't
this.
know who iDubbbz is, I think it'd be really hard to understand what's happened.
Yeah.
You need to go watch somebody who can like summarize the whole thing for you, like what he did,
Hey,
what
we've
he's
just done
about. Because there's a lot to it. And if you don't know who iDubbbz is, you don't understand why people want to latch onto like some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because
They don't really
you
know
know,
who he is.
normal people are like, this guy was just dropping slurs all the time, and people are really angry that he apologized for it. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Actually, when you put it like that, that literally is it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Basically, he like it. The slurs are a big part of why he apologized, as well as like just harassing people, because even if you don't like the people he made content on, which people didn't, and that was one of the reasons people loved watching it, is because it was targeting people. Because he did like I said, all the people that I've said he's done it on, Tanamongu, Keemstar, Leafy, Rice Guy, they're all people nobody likes on
Yeah.
YouTube, and it's people that they hope get dragged down and like, you know, get their just dessert sort of thing. And he would target these people and harass them, and everyone's like, yeah, go on. It's like, even though it felt vindicating to watch it because you didn't like these people and it was, you know, happening, it still doesn't make it right because you're harassing people.
You still get that fan base that continue harassing afterwards
Of course
as well.
they do. Yeah, 100%. It's mental, the amount of people that would do that.
Daddy Dubs wants me to harass them, and so I will. You know?
What?
I'm here on behalf of Daddy Dubs.
Dude, people
Okay.
do that all the time. It's fucking
Yeah.
wild. It's mad. I just, the whole thing of somebody showing real growth and being very open and honest about it and transparent about it, and then there being a sect of the internet that is just harassing and
How dare you not be racist anymore? How dare you?
exactly like it's
Betrayed me.
it's wild. I think people should be celebrated and applauded for
Applauding.
thanks Ebs. I don't
Yeah.
for showing growth and for changing and for doing these things. And more often than not, it seems like the internet just wants to take people down instead of like,
Lift them up.
yeah, exactly.
So backwards.
It's because negativity, just algorithms better.
Yeah. People feed on the negativity because it makes them feel better about their own life.
I mean,
It's
like,
not even that. It's just that negative emotions tend to get commented more and interact more with videos, and
It's
videos
true.
take off more because of it.
It's like you can take it from very simple stuff. You like top 10 channels, like top 10 worst will get more views than top 10 best.
True.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's weird.
Oh mate, whenever people make like the best or worst of games for the year, I'm always like, what's the worst? Then they get to they're like, my favorite. I don't care. Skip. Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, that one's shit. Yeah, that's exactly
Top
it.
10 cheaters caught live.
Exactly.
It's my favorite content.
Oh god.
I never watched any of that.
No, you should.
I always watch
It'll
like
rot your brain.
I also was like,
Your brain
welcome
is
to
right.
top 10 mojos.
That's one of them.
Yeah, I like mojos. They're the top 10 moments.
Wait, what's top 10 mojos? What's a mojo?
What's it
Watch
called?
Mojo?
Do you ever watch a mojo?
Oh, yeah.
I watched-
Mojo?
I watched it on my old laptop and I was like, I don't want any of this anymore. And when I got my computer, I was like, I'm not touching that stuff, so I don't get it feeded into my recommendations anymore.
Did you make a new account when you
No,
got a new
I don't
computer?
think I had a YouTube account when I had the laptop, so that's why it was getting recommended. I could have just cleared my cookies and stuff thinking about it now, but like I was an idiot and a child, so
It's okay, we're still idiots now.
yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Cookies.
All right, so to move on to another topic, we'll talk about... Okay, we're going to talk about this. So Tesla had a... it wasn't their actual account, but Elon did comment on it and was basically like, nice. But anyway, there was an advert that was advertised on Twitter that was called Tesla's first advert with Ryan Reynolds. And it is an advert for their cars with an deep-faked AI Ryan Reynolds in it.
Ew.
Yeah, it was really bad as well. I'm going to show you the video shortly, but they then, in the comments underneath, said, yeah, nothing to do with this. We'd like to work with him in the future, but he had nothing to do with this. And I couldn't fucking believe it when I actually thought it was a fake. And if Elon hadn't commented on it, I wouldn't have believed that it was real. Let me get it for you. It's bad.
It's so bad.
It made me like cringe so much.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds. How much do you think it would cost to own a car that's this fucking awesome?
And then it shows really shit footage.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
What the shit? That's the coolest thing ever. What if I told you you could own this car for less than the lifetime cost of a Toyota Corolla? Whose balls do I have to fondle to get a Tesla instead of a shit Corolla? Well, today you can buy one for just $36,490 with tax credits. Fuck yeah.
Oh, Christ.
How awful is that?
I don't like how
If you
it
scroll
looks.
down, we made this partly with deepfake AI. He wasn't actually a part of this, that we think he'd make a phenomenal brand partner. And then Elon's going, nice.
Just nice.
Like the owner of Tesla is essentially endorsing this.
I hate this.
Which would look really bad.
9 million views.
Yep.
Oh,
if the
yeah.
guy... Because the problem is that the guy makes the advert, right? And he introduces us Tesla's first ad featuring Van City Reynolds, right? And okay, if you look at the views for it, 9 million. If you look at his disclaimer, 570K. So there is...
A lot of people that's not seeing that.
There's a lot of people who could see that as a real Tesla advert. The guy can definitely get sued. And if he gets sued successfully, with Elon basically saying nice, which is kind of like an endorsement,
Basically.
then shareholders are going to be angry because the stock price could dip. So overall, very dumb.
I saw that and I was like, oh shit, I can't believe Ryan Reynolds is endorsing. And then that went on and I went, huh? That can't be real.
It's crazy how much a tweet chain can drop in views immediately from the next post. It's like, you know that Twitter account Dexerto? They often post like clickbaity stuff.
Yeah.
That's like kind of damaging to creators sometimes. And they'll put a disclaimer in the next tweet being like, oh, here's the actual context of what happened. And it's got like maybe like 5% of the views, maybe 10% of the views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did it with like PewDiePie's dog. They were PewDiePie got a dog after Maya passed away.
Yeah.
People like, oh, replacing a dog is so fucking scummy, like that quick. Turns out he got the dog before it passed away, which is just, it's so bad.
But even so,
Yeah, like even so, getting a dog after the other dies could be super helpful for your currently other dog that is still alive. As even just company for the dog.
Yeah. No, that's just a different thing.
But like they just outright
entirely.
lied. They were like, "Oh yeah, he gets a dog after the passing of his other one." No, he didn't. He got it before. He had for a time. He had 3 dogs.
Even still, though, my dogs have passed in the past, and they've died, and like a couple of weeks later, we'll get another dog.
God damn.
Like it's not. It's normally. I remember when I was younger. It's because of like the dog would die, and it was
A part of you?
well, 100%. Absolutely devastated. But like the small things around the house just felt so quiet and so empty. And it was so heartbreaking to just sit there and have that constant reminder of it. And so it was like we wouldn't buy dogs. We'd go and adopt another one.
Yeah, and it's not like you're dishonoring the dog either, you know.
No, yeah, but
oh,
like,
I'm so sorry. I got another dog.
you know that time the one day that we put the dogs into the kennels.
Yeah.
And then we have like this half a day in the house before leaving for like a vacation or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like, where the dogs?
Yeah, I'm
so
often
quiet.
like, who am I gonna cuddle?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the small things as well. It's like I'm gonna make myself sad thinking about it, but like the click clack of their like nails on the floor.
Yeah.
It was like you'd be in there. I don't know. You'd be doing something and you just don't hear that at all. Mm-hmm. And it's like small things. And it was just so heartbreaking that the easiest and best way for me anyway to have moved on from it was to, you know, shower the love that I had onto. I still remember all the dogs that I've had, and I absolutely loved them. But it's just that. So I don't understand why people are like, you're replacing it, and it's like, well, so fucking what?
Yeah, we lost.
Like
You're taking care of another dog.
exactly.
When we
What's
lost
the
both
problem?
of our dogs, my mum was like, I'm never getting a dog again. I can't.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't deal with the heartbreak of losing another dog. And then I got Tychus. And then my mum was like,
I want another
oh, I
dog.
kind of want a dog. So I gave her the money to get a dog.
Yeah.
And she went and got one.
She was like half like, like, oh, maybe I should get a dog. I was like, get a dog.
It makes her happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Molly's
Dogs,
great.
dogs make you happy.
Molly's great.
It's that horrible, like it's just like for people anyway as well, where you can't bear the thought of them going, but like having that time with an animal is so incredible that like it's just heartbreaking that it goes as soon as it does. And I just
I don't know. I like
We saw a post the other day. There's a dog that's 31 years old, isn't
Yeah.
it?
no fucking way.
Yeah.
in human years is 200 years old.
Meaning dog years.
Sorry. If he was a human, he'd be 200.
Human is he's 200 something. I'm glad you said. I didn't even pick that up. I'm like, huh? What the fuck? That's 200-year-old dog.
Sorry.
He's 31 and I think he's massive.
That's
No, he's a
insane.
border collie.
He's not.
He's brown and white border collie.
I will look.
There's I've seen things of cats that were like 25, 26.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like there's one
Dogs
that was
don't
on TikTok
usually come to that
where there was this cat who was like fucking 23 or something, and he looked like shit. He was like, you know, like old people when they're like 98 and they're like they're basically barely alive. It was like that with a cat.
Yeah.
It was like it would almost be kinder to just kind of put them out of their misery. Like,
My old girl Asti, she made it to 18.
oh wow,
And it was the. I hate talking about it because it makes me sad, but it was the sweetest thing.
yeah,
I came home from school. My dad took me home,
yeah.
and she was just sat there, up against the wall. She couldn't get up, but she waited. She waited for my mom and my sister to come home, and then she peacefully went.
Babes.
It was heartbreaking, but she made it to 18.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's incredible for a
Yeah.
cat.
How old were you when?
I was I think I was 8.
Really?
So yeah, I grew up with her.
Did you understand at the time when you were 8 what happened to her?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean we went and buried her immediately, like
Yeah.
you know, and it was rough, but incredibly sweet at the same time.
I grew up with a cat as well that I think she died when I was like 16 or 17 or something. But she'd basically been with me since I was like, I don't know, like 1 or 2 or something. She was old. But she sadly didn't pass peacefully. She got hit by a car.
Oh.
But oh my god, fuck, I cannot fucking I can't forget how absolutely destroyed I was at the time. It was, oh God, it was
really
horrible.
hurts,
So
yeah.
I'm sorry, Stan.
There's
This life.
this dog
It is life.
is a Rafiro do Alenteo, which is a
I'm just like,
is a Portuguese breed of dog,
Oh, okay.
and it lives to 12 to 14 years.
Okay.
So he's doubled his lifespan.
Damn.
he's like 30 something now.
31 now.
Bro's right. He was brown and white, right?
What the fuck?
He's brown and white. Yeah.
Yeah.
How? Gee, it's not a border
Gee.
collie though, isn't it?
No.
No, it's a Rafiro
look
de
like one.
Alenteo.
Jesus, that's insane. I can't
Portuguese.
fucking believe that. Oh my God.
Oh, I think I'm a little bit cruel. You guys are talking about like animals passing away, and I'm like, that's just nature. That's how it goes. And I can be like, it's hard to lose something that you really care about.
Yeah.
But like, also like looking at like, do you guys look at like nature stuff, like documentaries, and you see animals getting eaten, and do you feel bad for the prey?
Yeah, I fucking sit
do
there
ya?
crying.
But
even if it's like, even if it's nature, I still feel like that's fucking awful. What happened to that animal?
It's
Same.
It's like I
If
feel
you're gonna cry your eyes out when
like-
when one of the dogs dies.
Yeah, of course.
It's
But it's
like-
completely natural.
yeah, but like I'd feel bad about
Yeah,
like
no one's
the animal
denying that.
eaten or whatever,
Yeah.
but like it's a different kind of sadness compared to a pet passing. Have you had
Yeah.
pets when you were younger?
Yeah, so both
Yeah.
of my cats got put down.
Yeah. I mean, you did you cry about that?
Yes, of course. I
Yeah.
love those cats, but they had to go.
Where are you fucking be like,
I mean-
I'm so sad. So that's like, this fucking is what it is, isn't it?
Like,
fucking it there.
No, I was very angry when my cats got put down, but they were ill. Like both of my cats were outdoor cats, right? First cat, he was stupid. He was outside. He was eating whoever knows what, right?
Right.
He ate a hair tie, which twisted in his intestines, and then had to have a surgery. Was none of the same after the surgery. Was put down because it was too much pain. Moose, which was my second cat, she
I like
was
that name.
also which means mouse in Icelandic.
Oh, okay.
She was
I like
an
it more now.
outdoor cat, and she got into many fights.
Oh.
She got clawed. She got stressed. She
Yeah.
lost hair, and we weren't even supposed to have moose. Never. We never wanted a second cat.
Yeah.
She got put onto us. I was like, fuck yeah, cat.
Hello.
All right. But she also got sick, and my parents absolutely hated having her, so she got put down too.
Wait, what the fuck? What? Why did they hate having it?
She was a mess.
Oh.
She was a very aggressive cat.
We had, so that one cat I said about was called Jess, and we had another cat called Tom, which
Oh,
was
Jess and Tom.
a stray. Funny enough, it was a stray that was found with another stray. I think it was another stray. One family kept it. No, the person who found it had a cat called Jerry. And then they found that stray called the Tom, so it's like Tom and Jerry. Yeah. Anyway, we ended up having it, and he was a prick. Oh my God, he was the same sort of thing, fighting all the time. So like, oh God, absolute. He was amazing.
I want
mind
to
you.
clarify. We didn't hate the cat, and that's why we put her down.
Yeah.
She got ill, okay, and that's why we put her down.
The way you said it, you're like, parents hated him, we put her
My
down.
parents
Like,
hated the cat, put her down.
wow.
Had to get rid of it. No, I got very frustrated at my parents because they didn't pass away naturally out of age.
That makes sense.
They got ill, right? But they had to explain that they had to take the cat away, and it was always my dad who did it, and that's probably why I hated him a little bit, because I connected them passing away to my dad.
That makes sense.
That he had to take them away.
Yeah.
But he's a very distant man. That's another thing.
Well, okay. We will move on to that bit. But have you ever heard cats fighting?
Yeah.
Where they like fucking howl at each other. So Tom would always do that. I woke up in the middle of the night. I woke up and I could just hear her. Like my bed was like here, and there was a window behind me above, like with the front of the house, and I could just hear howling. And I was like, "What the fuck is that? What the fuck is?" And I go out, and he'd just be like, like another cat, and I was like, "What the fuck you doing?" And you call him, and he's just suddenly like, meow. Like, what the fuck?
It's like, oh, I've been busted.
Yeah, I don't like it when people get cats and they're like, "Oh yeah, my cat's gonna be an outdoor cat."
Don't, if you're gonna get a cat, can you please go look at Jackson Galaxy on YouTube and watch some of his videos, and then do some studies about cats outdoors, please. Thank you.
When I was younger, it was just natural to have like cats go outdoors and stuff, because it was just like, yeah, fucking whatever. But then as I've kind of like grown up a bit, I'm like, they're kind of an invasive predator that just attacks everything that's around and ruins things that's around it. And I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna have a cat, indoor cat, have enough space for it, and then I'll,
It's also incredibly dangerous.
The worst thing, you don't want your cat getting run over.
True. That.
Do you want to know how Tom died?
Run over?
He got run over as well in a set. Like, my family had moved to a different place. It was a different road. He got run over as well.
Yep.
Oh my fucking god, that broke. He calmed down massively over the years, and he was amazing. I loved him, but
I mean, there is the danger of getting run over, cars, traffic, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then there's the stuff that the cat can eat. And there's slugs and parasites and stuff that the cat can get into. Hair ties are dangerous enough that they can twist around the intestines. And
I didn't know that was the thing.
And there's shit they can drag in.
yeah.
And then you get ill.
Yeah. But also, when you have a neighborhood that has an established amount of cats, these cats go outside and they claim their territory.
Yeah.
If you move into that neighborhood and let your cat go into this territory that is already claimed by all these cats, your cat is going to try and fight for new territory.
What if he wants to? What if he wants to have his own
but
turf where he
your
wants to
cat is
fucking
gonna
beat a
get
boss
into
cat? He can go and live his
mangles.
best life. Let him do it.
Your
My
cat's going to
cat's
be
a
a
fucking
ringworm.
fighter.
Comes over, like scar over the eye, like being like fucking like, what
I
did you
did it,
do
Dad.
today? Yeah, exactly. What did you do today, son? I fucking did it.
Claim
I
my
own the
territory.
tree.
I fought a dog.
I saw have you seen videos where people strap cameras on the back of the cats?
Yeah.
I've seen one where one went into their neighbor's garden and the door was open and there was a cat stood there like holding like guard, and the cat just wandered up and fucking stared at him, and eventually the other cat backed down and wandered off, and this cat with a camera wandered into a stranger's house and just wandered around, ate food, did whatever he could with another cat watching him like scared because he couldn't do anything. I was like, what the fuck, these cats, they have no fear, what's going on? He's just like wandering around, fucking do whatever he wants. It was
Was
wild.
that the cat documentary?
No, it was on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
It was
Because
literally these
there's
things.
been a documentary on Netflix, I think, watching cats and what they do.
Really?
Yeah, and putting like GoPro cameras in what they're doing.
I love it when people strap cameras to cats because it's so fascinating. I like it when they do it to dogs as well. And like, it's more interesting with cats where like you just hear like fucking as they're like going through
Yeah,
fields
ding,
and
ding,
doing
ding,
all of it. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking awesome.
It's great.
I don't know how we got on this topic, but yeah.
I want to say, right, Ryan Reynolds looks like
that's
the,
what it was.
the
Oh, yeah.
animals from like the movies from 2000s. You know, like Airbuds?
Yeah.
Those animals that had like, they videotaped all of these dogs, right? And then they move the lips.
Do you mean in that advert?
Yeah, in that
Oh,
advert.
yeah.
He looks like one of those animals.
It was.
Yeah, because
so
it's really
bad.
fucking terrible AI.
It's really
I tell you, if I
bad.
wore one of my glasses, I'll be like, oh, that's Ryan Reynolds. But I was looking at it, and it's just
That's
like,
the dangerous thing as well.
oh no, like I will mention. You mentioned the AI thing
Yeah.
with celebrities. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna happen more.
It's gonna get
Yep.
worse.
It's
Oh,
gonna
it's-
get so much worse because like the voice was
His AI as
it
well.
was AI.
Yeah.
AI
It was
and, like,
it wasn't perfect. Like the start of the
No.
sentence does not sound like him at all, and it doesn't. The inflections of like his voice when he starts the sentence is
It
not
just
right.
sounds off.
Yeah.
But it's going to be really scary when that technology gets to a point where it's indistinguishable.
It's gonna be bad, and you know how, like, because you mentioned also like how quickly people jump at misinformation and like the clickbaity stuff and stuff like that. It'll be really bad when it's an AI that's said something or done something, and then the person has to come out as like, it wasn't even me that did that. That's scary.
This is on a similar topic with that as well. But have you seen the things where people have taken singers and AI'd them to sing songs that aren't theirs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, there's been certain ones where there was one with fucking Tupac who was singing, I don't know, fucking like All I Want for Christmas or some shit like that. I can't remember what it was. He's been dead for 30 plus years.
There was one.
And
with,
it was fucking good.
Yeah, there was one with Drake.
I was
wasn't
really
there?
surprised.
Drake. It was one with Drake in the weekend. Was there?
Yeah,
Think
something
so.
like
And
that.
like that was getting a lot of views, and I think it was on Spotify as well.
Yeah.
And the publisher took it down,
Well,
and that has been another one.
you know Cupid, the song that everybody's like, the TikTok, the amount of people that have AI'd different singers to sing that song, and it sounds fucking decent. Like, it's scary how far, like, and this has been technology that has been within the last 3 years. I wouldn't even say 3. I'd probably say last year or two, like for voiced AI. Anyway.
It's been in like the last year that it's been noticed.
Yeah,
and
it's
getting used a
scary.
lot.
I feel like in the very near
time.
future, what's the name of that TikTok girl that like bounces with the audio?
Oh,
What's her name?
the one that was really popular who does nothing but just sits there.
Yeah.
Minds
Isn't her
alone.
name like Bella something?
Bella.
I think so. I think you're right.
Anyway, Bella. There's gonna be a person in the future that's gonna be as like is gonna take over the whole entire internet, like Bella, right?
Yeah.
Everyone was obsessed with her. Then people are gonna make an AI generated person that looks like her and sounds like her, and the internet is just gonna own this, like a Hatsune Miku kind of bullshit, right? But this is a real person, and then that person just has no power because you're probably not like at the time Bella was not a celebrity; she was just a girl on TikTok, right? And has no power to take it down.
I can't remember what the surname was. Carry
Yeah.
on.
So there are OnlyFans girls who are making AIs of themselves. So
Oh, that Amaranth is doing that.
Yeah.
There was
Oh.
I saw about that. Yeah.
and there was one before Amaranth who was doing it, and she was you had to pay per minute, and I think she was making something like, I can't remember what I watched. It was an absolutely absurd amount of money a day of people paying by the minute to talk to this AI version of her.
Christ.
Just nuts.
We talk about this person.
What's her name?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Bella
Bella Porch.
Bella
Yeah,
Porch.
Bella Porch. That's her.
She's great now.
Yeah. It's the only time I've seen her content is when people have like duetted it as like a big buff dude who's doing exactly the same thing to try and get the same amount of views for it, and that's the only time I've ever seen it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you not listened to any of her songs?
Nope.
Oh. Okay.
No idea.
Do you know Melanie Martinez?
No.
Well, you know Pokimane and all the pretty girls on Twitch. Like, she's good friends with all of them.
Oh, nice.
And then Melanie Martinez.
Nice. Good for her.
Sorry, feminism power. Woo!
I gotta cut that bit out. I'm only joking.
I feel like I just embarrassed myself.
I just have no idea about any of those people you mentioned.
What
Yeah,
did I
you just
do?
you were just mentioning names and like, yeah, they all know each other, and it's like, cool.
I've only heard of Pokemon. That's it.
Yeah.
And like, to be fair, this isn't just these people. You were talking about the iDubbbz stuff, but it's like I know iDubbbz. That's it. I don't know any of the other ones. So I was quiet about that. So it's not just this thing. I don't know people.
Don't know people.
Man, I need to introduce you to more stuff. I'm gonna show you Full Force.
Which one was that? You spoke about that today.
It's Airsoft Fatty.
The airsoft thing, yeah.
Yeah. The actual name is Airsoft Fatty as well. Dude, it's fucking interesting. If you want to have a fun hour, go watch that video, because it's filled with twists and turns. But so I'm torn now. We either talk about, because you brought up Pokimane, we either talk about that at OTV, but I think the only person who knows anything about that is Ebbs.
I somewhat know like OTV a little bit,
Yeah,
but I haven't heard the news about Pokemon yet.
she just left. She's left the. She has graduated from OTV.
Apparently, like, Miski was like, how is, like, Pokemon leaving OTK not OTV not
OTV.
trending?
Yeah, it's she's leaving it.
Who
Right.
cares?
I think I know why she's
That's
doing
it. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
All right, she's gonna continue making content. Like, is what it is.
All I know is that, like, she's been working really, really hard and, like, balancing both streaming, YouTube content, being a content creator, and her own mental health.
Yeah.
And physical health as well. Because she's made, like, fitness videos,
Right.
and she advocates for, like, meditation and self-improvement and all this stuff, and she's just really making time for herself. And she said that she moved from the OTV house into a different house with all her girlfriends. And I think she just feels a whole lot better with them. And I don't know, it's probably just a better environment. And
She's just
probably
decided
just-
to leave.
yeah, it was just probably just time for her to go.
It's really weird because it was just kind of like this has happened.
Yeah, it's gone. That's happened. Who
Literally
cares?
just
Move on.
okay. I think because there's no drama around it, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people leave SR all the time. I think that's why we don't care.
Yeah.
It's like people get on with their lives.
Yeah.
So
They move on.
It's not like they're not friends anymore either. She's just not part of the brand.
You see people leave SR all the time.
yeah, I used to. That's when SR was like comprised of guild members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people would leave the guild
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
be like, I guess I'm leaving SR.
We had a bit of a turnover rate when it came to like Legion. We had a lot of people come in, a lot of people go.
Oh, I still miss Two Lash and Simi. They were fucking nice.
Shame people were not very nice to them.
Uncomfortable damage.
Yeah.
I barely got to.
can't say
I don't think
anything
I ever got
else.
to speak with them. I think I got to sit in a VC when we raided, but that was a time when I used push to talk.
I don't know who these
Oh,
guys
people
are.
didn't know.
Did you not meet
They're
them?
just two
No.
nice guys.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't direct with you at Legion.
I love the way they
BFA
pronounced
is one
words. Uncomfortable damage.
Uncomfortable damage. I can't say it like he does.
They seemed nice.
They were
Yeah, they were
seemed
nice.
really nice.
If I
But
remember.
other people weren't nice to him.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
God. Anyway, yeah. So fucking no drama around that. So who cares?
I'm happy for you, Pokemon.
Yeah.
It was very parasocial of you.
You're the
A lot
problem
of people
now.
really like to hit on Pokemon, but
What?
she's great.
Are you hitting on it? Yeah.
No, I mean maybe. I can't blink.
Did you just blink at the camera instead of winking?
Yeah, I can't wink.
A lot of people do hate Pokemon. But it's 'cause
Oh, sorry. Did you say hit
She said
on or
hate.
hate?
Hate on.
Oh, I thought you said hit on, and I was like,
Oh no.
I was gonna clear that up, but I didn't think I was like.
there's
I said,
so
no,
much
this is
like
funny.
people are like, oh, she's big on Twitch because she's pretty, and it's like, just like the top 20 streamers is like 2 women. It's nothing to do with looks.
Yep.
a little.
And
bit
she
to do
has
with
she has
looks,
had
but-
some bad takes, but the hatred is just unnecessary. It's not even it's not of equal value of what she's done.
Well, she's someone else who's apologized for the slur she used in the past as well. So
Yeah.
True.
and nobody, actually, people still mentioned that.
I don't. Yeah, they
People-
still bring it up.
people-
I don't think.
yeah.
I don't think she even said it in a hateful way either. It was
No. It was like just like you said, like what 2016, like when Twitch was starting, like
so.
everyone was saying those words, as in like
Yeah,
part
it doesn't
of
make
their
it okay. I mean, like
lingo.
I think I've seen the clip. The way in which she uses it is like she says it in like sort of like a hell yeah kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the Tana one, she said it in a more of a.
Hateful.
I say more of a.
She-
it was
she
extremely
said,
hateful.
"You stupid fucking," and then dropped
Yeah.
the slur. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
so,
was very
very, very different situation.
Yeah. Even still not okay.
It's still all bad. Like
Exactly.
like even if it was
Yeah, it's
common,
like murdering someone
I'd never
accidentally.
say
It's
it.
still good of them.
It's still homicide. You still did it. Like, you know.
It's not good, but
It's at some point in the future it'll probably, I don't know, not be an issue. But currently,
Oh, mate, the way I see the world, everything that's an issue now will still be an issue in the future.
dude, we're gonna go back in time. It's gonna be even worse. Like,
yeah.
we've already gone back fucking 20 past years
Apologies.
of people having
it felt
rights.
like
and shit, but,
it
you
felt
know.
like the world, progressed a bit, but now it feels like the world's going like this. Whereas,
where it's just separating into.
yeah, those who are progressing progress further. Those who didn't want to progress actually regress.
Yeah.
See you
And
later,
it's-
losers.
It's wild. We'll save the Zelda stuff for next week after people have played it more.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I get to play it tonight. So
let's just
I think
give
so.
give a short summary. Should we, Stan?
okay.
It's good, nah.
That's good. I played the tutorial island. I said to stream, I'm going to stop. I played for another hour. I fell in a hole and I died.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah,
Good,
yeah,
yeah.
enjoying it. Nice, nice. So on to other news about Overwatch. So I
Oh
know
hell yeah, baby! Activision Blizzard, Microsoft, baby. Let's go.
soon to be Microsoft. Oh
King,
my god!
don't forget the King part.
Yeah, Activision
Oh,
Blizzard, King,
God.
Microsoft. Woo!
What? Where's the
Mega
king?
corporation?
King, is it Candy
The
Crush?
games. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I only ever see King mentioned when like their earnings report because mobile games.
Okay.
That's for a reason. Isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like, look, we still own this. It still
Oh,
makes
before we
us
talk
lots of
about
money.
this, right? This might be a hot take, but people
Ooh.
keep going on about like oh, when this company acquires stuff, it's going to get better. When Microsoft acquires Activision, maybe WoW will get better. I do not think mega corporations are good in any way.
I agree.
Like,
Blizzard
you might get more money pumped into games, but you'll probably get bigger crunch, less love.
Well, Blizzard, unarguably, that's not a word, whatever, got worse after joining with Activision.
Yeah.
It actually did.
Although from what we saw from the internal stuff, I don't think it had anything to do with Activision. It was always Blizzard.
Bad.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
sad.
the whole, from what I understood, the big thing, like it was like a year ago or 2 years ago now. That was an Activision overarching thing because they were talking about stuff that happened in like some of the Call of Duty teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I believe it was some of the Call
So
of
it
Duty
was
teams,
something for both.
but it was also Blizzard
Okay.
because Call of Duty just had some issues as well. From what I
No
understand.
way is good, I guess. But anyway, with the actual stuff, the news is that the Overwatch 2 team, at the end of a whole discussion they had with devs, in the last 30 minutes went, yeah, Overwatch 2 PVE is cancelled. And they
Makes
just
you
dropped
think,
it.
what was the fucking point?
I was like, I myself, like, I loved Overwatch. I poured so much time in the first year release. To give it some context, you could level in the old ones, and like every 100 levels you get like a star.
Yeah.
At 600 you get a silver border.
Oh, yeah.
In the first year, I played so much. I got to level 600. I had a silver border.
Oh, my God.
I got to masters once. I loved the game.
Yeah.
And I loved the PvE stuff. So like this, I've not played much of 2.
Yeah.
I don't really like the changes. I hate push. And I don't like 5v5 because I feel so pressured as a tank.
What's push?
You got like
So you push the cart.
You got you got a robot in the middle of the map, and if you control it, your aim is to get the robot to the other the other team spawn. So it encourages a lot of back and forth and team fights, but it stalls so much.
Yeah, wouldn't that get really harder the closer it gets to this
Yeah.
spawn?
Yeah, that's the idea. And most of the time that I played it, it would either you'd snowball and you'd finish so fast, or you'd be in for like 10 minutes.
Like ages.
And it's like I don't even like, I don't know. Besides the point, It's
getting really stressed out about it.
I liked Overwatch a lot. I liked the world. The cinematics were always really good. And I was really looking forward to the PvE. I was sad that Overwatch 2 was coming out with just the PvP. And then to hear that, it's just disheartening. And the other thing, if people don't remember, Overwatch came about because they scrapped Titan.
Yeah.
So they scrapped 2 things. Where are we?
Didn't they also mention something about reviving Titan? Like,
So that was part of the whole thing, is that they said that it was cancelled, and then I think it was like a couple of days later they came out with this full thing, like a full on, I think it was yesterday, but they basically said that their aim when they were making the PvE for Overwatch 2 was to basically they started making the PvE mode for it, and then wait, we can turn this into, we can revive Project Titan. So for anyone who doesn't know what that is, they had this plan of making an FPS MMO, which was called, it was Project Titan, and that then became Overwatch, and then they tried to take it the other. But yeah, they said that their plan was to, they described it as crawl, walk, run, where it's like we start with the crawling, then we'll do walk, and then we'll do running, which is Overwatch 2 or Overwatch. And then the running or the walking part was the PvE to get that all fleshed out or that all done. And then after they've done that, they can then push it to
MMO.
Project Titan and have the MMO, which is a really interesting concept. And they basically said they spent all this time doing it. Yeah, they spent all this time working on all that and all this time going through everything, trying to get this to be as great as possible, when they should have really spent their time focusing on the PvP and making like small scale, like getting the actual work done that they needed to. And they've just, it's been 4+ years and they've
It's like
shit
all
the bed
scrapped,
completely.
like Project Titan, super scrapped.
As far as they've said,
From what I understand, because there's a lot of people saying, oh, the PvE's scrapped, the PvE's scrapped. From what I understand, they scrapped the big systems, the overarching like talent trees and stuff like that, the main sort of hero story stuff, but they're still wanting to deliver some PvE content. So from what I understand, it's incredibly, incredibly, incredibly watered down.
The whole reason for them making 2 was to have this PVE stuff.
Because the system wasn't there for it.
Yeah, exactly. And there's videos of them showing off these really cool things, like being able to target limbs of robots and they'll react, like the different types of mobs you'd have. I don't know if any of you ever played TF2's PVE mode in that.
Man vs. Machine.
And it was a big old like wave-based thing where they'd send hordes of robots at you and you'd kill your way through them. You know, it's not great, but it was decent. But it was supposed to be something that was like you get hordes of enemies at you, you have to protect opponents, you have to do this. There was all these stories that were meant to be throughout these different things. You had talent trees with WoW, where you'd like take different talents and change your build up for stuff. Had all this really cool ideas, like really, really fucking cool. They showed all these things way back, years and years ago, of these things that were meant to be there, and it's just completely all gone. It's just fucking gone completely.
I do want to say quickly as well, is that I'm sure the people that worked on it and the people that were really invested in it, I'm sure they are heartbroken about it too.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to like say all this stuff because I was invested in it too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm heartbroken. I'm upset as the consumer of it, but I'm sure they're heartbroken too.
Imagine.
Like, I don't want to shit on those people. Like, that's not.
Oh no,
that's not the
at
case.
all
I'm
what we're
like,
doing.
I just want to make that clear because some people may misconstrued it and stuff like that. I don't
It's just
hate though. I don't hate them. I'm just really,
It's upper
really
management.
sad. Yeah.
It's the people who manage the devs and stuff, and the fact that they have to appease to their shareholders,
yeah.
which is why, like I said, I just think mega corporations are shit for gaming. It's just well, what was the point of Overwatch 2?
They
It feels
Currently,
like
there is no point.
they got rid of loot boxes. They changed the monetization, and they added season passes.
it really feels like they could have patched all this in.
They could have.
Even like the the engine overhaul.
They could have literally.
Fortnite did it.
Yeah.
Fortnite updated from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5.
Yeah,
maybe it's not. Maybe it's a bit different going from the same sort of thing, but
Even still,
It's still
you should have
entirely
just-
doable.
You could have just pulled it all down, put that to the side and just pulled up this.
actually they did kind of do that because Overwatch 1,
It's gone forever
they
now,
just
isn't it?
they patched over it. That's what they did. Overwatch.
That's
If you
insane.
if you had Overwatch 1 installed, Overwatch 2 came out. You didn't install Overwatch 2. You updated the game.
Huh.
It's mad, isn't it?
So yeah, they did do it then basically. So it makes
Yeah.
you think, well, the fuck was the point of 2? Thank fuck they didn't charge people who already owned 1,
Yeah.
because that would be
But
really,
The idea was they
two
were
is free
charging
to
for
play.
PVE.
It's free to play too, is. But they
I thought
have
you still have to buy it if you've never owned 1, isn't it?
no
No, it's
No, if
completely
you want to
free.
play
isn't
the idea was they were going to charge for PVE.
the stuff that they've scrapped. They don't charge for. But one of the things that people are really cynical about with all this as well is that, as Stan said, they pulled 1 down, and
It's 2 years of no content.
that as
2
well.
years since the last hero came out, and they just I'm sorry, I might be overtaking
Don't
this. Like,
apologise,
I was
it's okay.
invested in this. Like,
I'm glad.
I loved the game.
This
I
is what
played.
I want you to talk. Go
I
for it.
played like every season. I had so many golden guns.
Yeah.
I had no life to that game in the first year. I loved it. I loved that world, and like I ended up stopping playing. Just so there was just no content. The metas were getting stale,
Yeah.
and I just, in the end, I realized I was just playing to
Play.
like just to get the season rewards, and it's like I tried to play 2. I played for a bit, and it was like PvE's coming. It's fine. I'll just play for a bit, and I burnt myself out on the battle
Yeah.
passes.
Do you still
they
have
were
like all
awful.
that stuff?
Yeah, I have all my stuff from the previous game, so like that's not gone to waste at the very least.
So if somebody
like,
wants to play
golden
Overwatch 2
guns you
PvP
have.
now, is that free or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
just don't.
So when it came out, we we did, didn't we?
We played a few
Yeah,
games.
we played quite a bit of it.
Were you able to pre-order the PvE content?
there was
No.
there was there was a
Wait, was
purchase, but I believe it was to get into the game early.
Okay.
And also, you got some extra cosmetics. I think the battle pass as well. I think there was
That
some
would make
there was
sense.
some controversy at the time because I think the wording on it was a bit poor. But I think they did offer refunds as well.
So I guess they basically re-released the game because their monetization
Yeah.
wasn't strong enough.
Well, the very common theory about it is that they closed 1 down and opened 2 because loot boxes were banned in places because it was gambling,
Yeah.
and the monetization model of that was goners. Like nobody liked loot boxes anymore. they wanted battle passes that people paid for, like Valorant and everything, as well as a paid-for shop. And making it free to play meant that it would, exactly like Valorant, where there's a battle pass, there's all these skins, and they were fucking expensive.
Battle passes should be permanent.
Oh my god, the skins in Overwatch are fucking expensive as well.
It's like 20 quid.
Yeah, for like one.
And the thing is, right, is like, sorry, because like again, I'm invested in the skin stuff because like you know League with me, right? In League, you get a skin, you can see the whole skin, you can see the whole effects. Overwatch, see some hands.
Yeah, because everybody else sees the skin that you are.
Oh,
whereas
You don't actually
while
see
you're
your
playing,
skin. You see the
your-
hand,
I
you
see
see the
what you
weapon.
mean.
That's
Yeah.
about it.
But in the fucking play the game though.
No, you still
That's
see
if you're good enough.
When you see the highlight intro, that's it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
like
it.
you'll
That's what you
then
mean.
see your play, which I mean, it could be.
And it's literally just that is the thing of I'm buying this so other people see me look better. Not I'm buying this so I'm
I get where they're coming from because it's a live service game.
Yeah.
They let the old one die for 2 years with no content. They then want to get this one out, and now they got the live service with the battle pass. They have that churning. They have the daily, they have the weekly shop rotating. I get it. It's gonna make them money and stuff like that. And they have these updates planned. They have a big old roadmap, but it just sucks. And maybe it's the cynic in me, but I think they've known that they've scrapped it like since launch pretty much.
Yeah, probably.
Because there's a pipeline to these things with these battle passes and these and like the content, the maps, the game mode. They're adding a new game mode from what I understand as well. But there's a pipeline to this. So at some point they'd have to know. And I think there was an article about those mythic skins.
Yeah.
Apparently the article said like they take like a year to make.
What the
What?
fuck?
I don't like. I don't know.
That doesn't.
I mean,
That doesn't
I know.
make
I know
sense.
that like this. I don't know. I just said like a year
Huh.
at the time. It's like they take
That's
a year.
exactly my reaction as well.
There's
Like,
a
what
year
the
and there's
fuck?
one at the end of each battle pass. I mean, that's a pipeline of something.
Dude,
As I don't know.
how long it
Probably.
took to finish that battle pass was so fucking long. Because we played it. I remember. I played it a fucking lot. I played Overwatch 2 a lot when it came out, and I think I got don't know a third of the way through the battle pass.
You
It was
want
just
to?
gone forever.
I remember seeing something. I think it was like the other day. If you completed every weekly quest
Yeah.
from launch, only like just like now or the week just gone, you'd be able to buy a skin from the store for free.
Wow.
How long's it
So
been
how
out?
long's that been?
It came out in October, I think.
Fuck me. Half a year of all weekly quests, and you'd be able to buy one skin.
Huh?
Remember to speak into your mic.
Sorry, my bad.
I hate time limited battle passes. I genuinely hate that you can buy something and then get zero value out of it because you don't play enough
Yep.
for their
It's
standards.
insane.
I like to pop off on that battle pass thing. There is one good quality about their battle pass. If you complete their extra battle pass, you bank levels for the next one. That's nice, but the extra battle pass is like 200 levels. The shit
Ew.
thing about it is it's not like Valorant. So like if you miss a week, that XP is gone. Like
Huh.
in
So
Val-
it's
in Val-
basically you have to play.
you have to play every
week.
week. You have to play every day for your dailies. If you do that, then you're gonna bank levels probably. But like you'd have to mono game that, and that's
I mean,
not.
at that
Ew.
point, if you're playing that much, then like the next one will come out, and you're gonna finish all of that. If you're wanting to play that much, it's just exhausting.
I
Yeah.
think when a battle pass comes out, if you buy it, you should be able to activate that battle pass whenever the fuck you want.
I fully
Yeah.
agree. I fully
Like
agree.
not like you buy a battle pass, you do them all at once, whatever. Like, but just being able to go back and be like, I want to activate this old battle pass. I fucking paid for it. It's not like a subscription where you pay for something, and if you don't play, you've wasted your sub. A battle pass is nothing like a sub. Like you should be able to just activate at any point. I think Halo Infinite had that ability, despite
I think
dying.
it did actually, yeah.
One good thing I heard about Halo Infinite, that game's a ton of problems.
The PvP was fun in the beta, and then the game came out, and everyone went, bye. It was like peace, and then vanished.
I don't know. The battle pass is a whole different can of worms. I am just so tired of them.
Same.
It's
like with I was gonna say with Overwatch, it's like with Heroes of the Storm, where I'm cynical in another way, where I think it's just gonna end up like that, where it's just gonna be dead and left in the water. Because I fucking loved
I
Heroes
saw
of the
another thing. A lot of devs from Heroes went to go work on like Overwatch and other projects and stuff like that. It's like Heroes died, so more devs
Overwatch
could go
died.
work. And now
I miss
Overwatch-
Heroes.
I love.
Now that I look
Heroes.
back at it, I go, actually, I kind of like that MOBA.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was
fun.
a fun, goofy social game where like you just fucking roam around.
Didn't
do
have to worry.
objectives.
Didn't have to worry about gold.
No.
Just
Didn't have to worry about levels. You all level together.
just
Yeah, it was a really
Obviously,
cool.
you could bring the team down, but
Yeah.
let's face it, you could bring a team down harder in League.
And it was
100%.
like I can't remember. I think it was like last year or something. I like decided to play it again. I really enjoyed it.
It's
I was
a
like,
fun
this
game.
is a really fun game.
It just really
but
sucks.
It's just been left dead.
You
And
know
it's-
what? You know what? Those models. Oh,
They were good.
It's just a case of like,
I'm laughing, and Evs is laughing, and Stan's laughing because there's two in particular that I know Stan's
it's
on about.
booba characters, isn't it?
It's White Mane and
Yeah.
Alex Straza, and they're both.
mate, that art team. That art team.
Mate,
where did they go?
White
I
Mane
missed
came
that.
out, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to play this character. I'm going to be too busy coming all the time. Like,
I
holy
wish
shit.
I'd given Heroes like more love, or like try to just invest more time in it. Maybe my tiny little splash
Yeah.
in the pool might have kept it going for a bit longer. But it's like Blizzard's like if it's not making us money, fucking can it.
I
It
think
was,
it's still. You can still play it now, right?
You can still play it. Yeah, it's just it's highly maintenance mode. It's like they got like a ghost team like working on it. It was I think partially is their push for esports. I don't know why games keep
Yeah.
pushing for esports all the
Well,
time.
Blizzard are desperate
rough.
to get, or were desperate to get that because they wanted to combat and go against like Riot with their League ones.
Heroes was at its best when it was doing goofy things like Cho'Gall. Deathwing
Oh
was
my God, I forgot about
insane.
that.
I think Blizzard just suck at esports.
Yeah, they
They
do.
really do.
WoW Arena
Their game's not made for it.
is
I don't
fucking
know.
gash.
Well, they've got the MDI, which is the Mythic Dungeon Invitational, which
I
is
think that
basically
does
people
well.
speedrunning through dungeons.
Yeah, but
But I
which
don't.
is still going, and apparently has live events in
crap.
fucking England.
And then you got
Overwatch is just confusing to watch.
Overwatch where you had to like, it was country based, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
And-
it country or like state based?
I think it was state.
I think it was
actually.
states.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And like it was like a horrendous, and something about the buy-in,
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't know, was also horrendous.
I remember when the Overwatch competitive, because when the original Overwatch came out, we played it loads, and the competitive, like as in scene, came out, and it was literally so awful to watch. It just wasn't made for that. And I
It's
think
just-
FPSs
it's
in
too
general
busy.
just aren't made for it.
I think it depends on the FPS. I think like
I
Valorant
think
CS:GO is
Valorant,
pretty good
Oh,
to
fuck
watch.
Valorant
yeah.
and CS:GO do so fucking well.
forgot.
It's
Well-
because they're slower.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
slower
Yeah,
and
exactly.
methodical.
yeah.
And
There's so much going on.
if they're doing the spectator
about
right,
it.
because a lot of times you're watching Valorant, right, and they'll be watching somebody and a killer come up to you and they've missed it.
Yeah.
So that's the only problem with Valorant and CS:GO and all that. I guess they can give replays because with League sometimes they show all three lanes at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they're getting really good with like showing spectator. But like Overwatch is messy. Really,
It's-
really fucking messy to watch.
For a character to be able to basically teleport to the other side of the map like that, it's so
It's so
difficult to
zippy.
get- yeah.
There's so many effects. There's just so much going on. It's if you play the game, it's like, I don't like esports. That's whatever. But even if you play the game, it's messy to just watch to even understand what's going
the
on.
only way I could think of it, and I've thought about it with games before, that I wish you could do, and I think CS had something like it, where you could spectate the game that's happening. So you could control the camera yourself, and you could like watch it
It was
all.
Dota that did that, wasn't it? Was it Dota?
It might have been one or the other. I can't remember. They're both Valve, so. But whichever
Fair.
one, it would. I think is such a good idea because you can. I don't know. Say you're interested in only one area, or you want to have a. It would be really cool if there was something in the games where you could spectate the game and have the like audio of the casters and stuff in the game with you, so you could just watch and look. You could just watch the streams instead if you want, but you could physically like control the camera, do what you want. Because there's certain times where, I don't know, with League, where I only cared in the past with T1 about watching Faker. If I could just sit there and just watch him play the game from his
Because
perspective, I'd fucking
even
love
from
that.
CS:GO's perspective, if you could spectate the game and choose your own camera angle, you'd get some fucking amazing like shots. Because people
Yeah.
would record it and be like,
Of
"Look
course
at
they
this!
would.
Look at this fucking angle I got on this kill."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'd be a really cool idea, but I don't know. Blizzard's games are just not built for
the gash and
See,
competitive
the
scenes.
thing is, I feel MOBAs lend themselves quite well to
Yeah.
it's only one
that
angle.
scene. Yeah, and like the thing is as well is like that's what failed for Heroes, and I don't know. I didn't care about that scene, but like I said, I feel like it was at its best when it leaned into the more fun. Lost Vikings, Abatha, Deathwing. Cho'Gall.
Do you remember Cho'Gall?
It was the 2-player character,
Yeah,
wasn't
the
it?
2 people played one character. The one controlled like the body, and the other one threw out spells, and that was so fun.
And you mixed your names as well. Take your
Yeah,
first 3
I
letters
did.
for Cho, and
Yeah,
you take the
you're
right
right,
letters,
yeah,
and
it
then
did.
the last 4 for you. It's just funny to see
That has bad potential.
It did have bad potential. I had saw some of
Immediately just popped into my head. Walker come up there.
Yeah, but I miss Heroes.
Yeah.
I mean, you still play it, but it's not the same.
It's not that.
It's
I
not
mean,
the same.
it's like going
Insane.
back and playing something that's just dead.
Yeah.
But like StarCraft 2 is dead. Warcraft 3 is dead. Fucking, I know. With it, I know.
I went to play fucking Brawl Busters.
What the fuck is that?
I know, nobody knows what it is. It was on Steam one time, but the creators took it down off of Steam. But there was a big enough fan base for the game that there were some fans that recreated the game. And they relaunched it, not on Steam. But I downloaded the game, and you can connect with people through the internet and play the game. But literally, there was some issue at the time when I tried to play it. I was like, cool. Anyway,
And you just moved on to
Yeah.
someone else.
I was like, yeah, that's the game I used to play.
Not as good as you remembered.
I just didn't get to play it. I didn't get to connect with anybody yet. And like I put it on the side because I didn't get to play it, and now I don't feel like opening it up back again and try again. Don't know. And then I did ask for League. Sometimes I do think about that.
It is really sad when live service games close,
Yeah.
especially if they still have like an active user base left.
There's a
Yeah.
lot that have done that in recent times. I think there was that Warner Bros. Fighting game. That
Oh
they
yeah,
closed.
the fucking I can't remember.
Multiverses. There was that wrestling BR that
There
closed.
was actually a
Oh yeah, I forgot what that's.
there was
called.
actually a DC game even well before that as well, which is a MOBA.
Yeah, I played that.
Yeah.
I think I got into the beta for that. I liked it, and then
I think we
forgot
played
about
it and I was like, it's kind of janky. Like things wouldn't sort of like, it wouldn't feel as fluid as League did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a DC game. You could play as like Flash and Batman and stuff like that. You could play as the Vampire Batman. I can't remember the name for it though.
I think I kind of remember that.
We did play it. Well, all of us played it.
Yeah,
Um,
oh fuck, that was years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, that was years
It'd
and
be a
years
long
ago.
time ago. Yeah.
But it's just what happens when you invest time into something, and it's just
It's the unfortunate
yeah.
thing of live service. It's like you can't do much about it.
Just why there's so much like rivalry. Like people like Valorant, like the CS:GO, like Valorant shit.
well, CS2 is coming
Because
out
they're
soon.
like so
Yeah.
worried their game's gonna die. Bro, your game has over 1 million active users. It's not
I
gonna
think
fucking
CS
die.
is still surprisingly one of the
CS:GO
biggest
has an
games.
insane amount of active users. It's
Doesn't
unreal.
Doesn't it keep breaking its
It
peak?
broke its record the other day. It's something like 1.1 million active users.
I remember
Fucking
you.
mad.
I remember you like posting a few times of it breaking its record.
Yeah.
It keeps breaking its records. Yeah,
You're like, oh, it's going up, it's up,
People
it's up.
are
it's
people are excited.
insane. Our
Yeah.
game can have that many active users.
and it's been out for so long.
It's climbing to like World of Warcraft levels back when it was at its peak.
Oh, dude.
Still has a ways to go, but
Do you remember when WoW was like the biggest game ever?
yeah.
That was insane.
Then they got complacent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That just
It's in a
died
good
off.
It's a
spot
shame
now.
because, you know, what could go wrong? They stole every idea from every MMO that died.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I mean?
They stopped stealing good ideas.
Yeah.
Now they're
Oh,
taking some
God.
again,
Yeah.
like the dragon flying from is it like Guild Wars?
Guild Wars, yeah.
Oh, is that what that came?
I think so.
I can imagine
I
the
was
Riot
like,
MMO would
this
come
is
out and
really
Blizzard would be
cool.
like, yoink.
Take that.
Did you really think it was like this is a really
I
good,
was like, oh, this is a
original
really good-
idea?
Yeah, like, what the? This is
Wow.
such a cool
For,
idea.
for
And
a
it's
quick,
like, oh,
for a
yeah,
quick thing on
oh.
dragon flying, they're enabling it in the old world now
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
next patch, and they've got some of the mounts
And
are getting
updating,
animations
yeah.
for it. It's so that's a W right there.
Yeah,
they're
that's a
doing
win.
dragon races in the old world as well. That's a good.
What makes it so
It's a
good?
W.
It's just the.
It just feels fun.
It's because you have
You
less
go
control.
at 800% speed.
Ooh, that's fast.
You just.
but you have like less control than
So
you glide.
know
and-
in games
Mm.
where you're like gliding down and it's like you turn, but you don't turn straight away. It's like you kind of like swerve around.
yeah, it's giving you
that.
it's giving you a bit of more of a
control. The breath and the living.
It's giving you like a really fun glider.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
you got like 3 main buttons. You got your little dash. You got your little ascend, and you got like your
Spinny
big
wiggle,
spender.
fast
Does it
pass.
replace
Spinny
normal
boy.
flying? Are they going to sack off normal flying
You
in
can
the old
toggle
world?
it. You can toggle it.
Okay.
And they're also making normal flying free.
So I assume you would
Yeah.
get around the normal world faster in
Yeah, I
Dragon
think
Rider.
so.
Yeah, but you can
Okay.
still also like toggle it. AFK, go to the bathroom, go get some cup of tea. Maybe you'll die into the void if you're too long. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's
But-
mainly just something that it feels fresh to
just
like
nice.
fly around and,
It's just a nice
and do
change.
stuff.
I also
That's
when we started playing Dragonflight, it felt like you were exploring the map more.
Yeah.
Like when they give you in the old world like flying, you just go like numlock key and then you're fucking off, and then you're not
As
looking
you said,
below.
you're AFK.
Well, one of the
Yeah,
more
literally.
unfortunate things about World of Warcraft is that when they introduced flying, a lot of the wonder of the world left it.
Yeah.
Completely.
Like
They were-
everyone's
yeah,
in the
I
sky, nobody's on the ground.
It was one of the things I hated. Everybody kept wanting flying for every expansion, and I'm like, I don't, because I just want to run around and like have this wonder of the world around
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And
It'd
explore, and it was
probably
just-
be nice if like, because I assume the dragon flying can't go super high.
No, you can go
go pretty
fairly high
high.
with it.
It's gonna take you longer because you have a certain amount of energy points to use to be able to
Okay.
use
There's
your
like
abilities.
there's like a talent tree for it, and one of like you get the talents by flying into them, so
Yeah.
they're like around the world, and one of them is on the highest peak, so you
I
have to
see.
navigate your way up to the top of the mountain while
So
flying.
like there is a way of getting up.
there is a way.
eventually.
It
Yeah,
will
eventually.
take you some time, but then once you're up there,
You get to enjoy the big
flight
fall.
descent.
Yeah.
it's
Oh.
just active flying.
that's
you
good
take
because
in the scenery. It's good.
The wonder stays in the world.
yeah.
The people on the ground walking around still see players around them flying.
Yeah.
So it's a way better than all fly. All fly, and I'd go up to the skybox. And then, you know,
What
you'll
am I-
never see me again.
One of my favorite moments in with dragon riding in Dragonflight, right, is you know how the same thing with that mountain, right? But instead of that, you know Valdrakken, the city, and how you need to go all the way up the tower to speak to Alexstrasza and all that, right? I didn't know there was a teleporter at the bottom.
Oh, I did. I'm just stubborn.
Oh, okay. But I didn't know, right? And at the time, I only had like 3 vigor points, and I was struggling to get up there. And I was really having a lot of fun. I was like, how do I do this? Okay, I gotta descend to get some power, and then use my energy points to kind of get up there. I had to stop a couple of times before I could reach up. And I was like, wow, this takes some time, huh?
It was a really, really, really high tower.
Yeah.
And you can only use as you go down and pick up speed. The faster you go, the faster the energy recharges. So you'd be encouraged to like fly down, regenerate, and then like swoop up with the momentum, and then try and go higher and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Just to explain.
I
it
would
a
just
little
run
bit.
out of energy, and I would have to like find a ledge for myself to sit down on, and then I
Try
sat there
again.
for like a few minutes to try and get my energy points back up, and then try again.
What I like as well is that, like, I'm sorry, this is taking a big tangent now. But what I like now is, like, with each new zone, they've added more to the talent tree of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the newest thing they added was, like, ground skimming. So, like, if you fly
Yeah.
close to the ground and you're out of, like, charges,
that makes
you can
sense.
start building up charges again quite nicely.
That makes sense because the new
nice.
area is in a cave or
Yeah.
like an underground, so you're closer to the ground anyway.
I need to sort something out with my mount because I was trying to, like, ground skim on water, but because I have water walking, my mount's just like, I walk now.
That makes sense. It's yeah, it's nice. It's really weird seeing WoW because it feels like I don't know. It started feeling like the team actually cares, and it's like, oh shit, they're actually doing stuff that's beneficial to it, which is really rare to see in games at the moment. So it's been nice, but I'm kind of just waiting for the other shoe to drop
Yeah, something's about to happen.
and for it to be like, oh god,
it's too
shit
good to
again.
be true.
Once it hits its quarterly profits, then they go, we're good, we're back, let's go.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
I'll have fun while we're getting some W's.
Oh, yeah.
See, I would say that like, okay, woo, cool. Blizzard is like listening to their community, right, and improving in some of the areas, but it's still same old World of Warcraft. There's nothing really new or anything intuitive or anything original coming into
I
World of
will
Warcraft.
say I've played less, but I've enjoyed what I've played.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
felt like
Well, I
I
mean,
had to play.
Gary was like, oh, I want to come back. What is there to do? And it was like,
Same
shit.
stuff.
Like this.
Yeah,
You know,
literally.
you just raid. You don't. It's
Do
the same.
keys, you raid. PvP,
He was like, oh, I'm not
PvE.
interested in raiding. It's like, there's no point coming back then.
Yeah, that's true. Nothing.
Like, unless.
That's the only bad thing. They're not adding anything new or
Yeah.
trying anything new. They're just doing the same old thing.
That makes sense.
I'm just like, I'd spoke a lot about Shadowlands. I'm just glad we're out of that.
Yeah, we're out of that shithole.
Because I'm a lore nerd, right? I'm gonna make this very very quick. I never felt so deflated being invested into a story before. So I'm just glad we're not dealing with Nipple Man anymore.
You know what? The funniest interactions I had, Noble.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's popped into my chat once before, and I was like, hey, Noble,
Nice.
I can recognize you. And he's like, yeah. So I follow him on Twitch, right? And Tyrande at the beginning of Shadowlands? She was Madge,
She was pretty mad, yeah.
She was pretty fucking mad.
She was pretty angry.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I was a little interested. I was like, ooh, what's Tyrande going to do in Shadowlands? Ooh, she's going to come back with vengeance. We never heard of anything about Tyrande throughout the entirety of the thing.
If you were Night Fae, she was in that story.
Okay, well, I wasn't in Night Fae, so I never saw Tyrande.
She was still pretty angry.
Yeah, but she was mad, right?
Yeah.
And then somehow the expansion kind of just ended, and I didn't really see the story in any way. I went to Noble's stream, and I was like, Noble, what happened to Tyrande? And it was like, yeah, she pretty much just fell asleep and then was okay with it.
She tried to choke out Sylvanas, who is undead. And then Elune said no.
That's one of the problems
my
with
God.
storytelling. If you put it in like sort of like race specific, like say like the Night Fae, because she was quite her anger was quite big. Every player got to see it, right?
Yeah.
And then a small
Portion
player
of player
base got to see anything come from it, and then there was no sort of like payoff to that.
The story itself explored interesting aspects. I would say the story at the beginning of the expansion was actually all right. Later on, you get into stupid robot, chosen one, first one rubbish. But
Or Babu.
Tyrande did get screwed. So did the Night Elves in general.
Yeah.
They keep getting L's.
It was crap.
I'm quiet because I've been seething with rage for years about WoW. Whenever any form of thing with lore or any of that, the amount of times I have sat there ranting when I've been streaming about different stuff for WoW, specifically with her, is insane.
Mate,
they have assassinated that character for years and years and expansions, and they've turned they turned one of the most powerful female characters in that series into an absolute piss baby, and it is awful.
It just feels like the writing
terrible.
team are like
Shit. Awful.
Yeah.
Terrible.
forgetting to just not like they forget to continue plot lines a lot. We know that from over a decade now. But like the payoff to what they set up, they set something up and then you don't hear anything about it, which is, as someone who doesn't write stories, that's like the most basic fucking thing you need to do.
Remember the Naifu waifu? For the shadow priest artifact weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so beginning of BFA, get her out of the knife. Do something with Nazar.
Gone.
She's not come back.
Just gone forever.
She's just gone.
The thing with Tyrande and Malfurion that I've hated, even in Legion, they turned her into less of a
Strong leader.
yeah, and just my husband's gone. But then there's a scene in, I think it was BFA, where she has Sylvanas literally right where she wants her,
Yeah.
like on the floor, basically dead, and they could kill her and just end it, and they're like, no, and then they just fucking leave.
Like,
And it's like
Like-
the person who they've got in front of her has literally destroyed their fucking like thousands of thousands year old tree. It's done
Millions
all
of
this
people.
awful stuff, murdered so many different people, and they're like, "Oh, we're just not strong enough to deal the final blow." And it's like,
You fucking would.
oh, it's just
mate, you said you'd see them with anger about it. I was, and then Shadowlands defeated me. I became apathetic.
Damn, Shadowlands got hands.
And
It's-
it's just sad.
It's how it is when there's a writing team that just doesn't write very well. It was the same with Game of Thrones.
But it should be
with
so
the
obvious,
final
shouldn't it?
series.
It's like if you're gonna
Yeah.
have two characters fight, then you got to see it from their perspective. Like, what is the plan if
Yeah,
you
what's
fail?
the end? Yeah.
Like, if you fail to win the fight, what's the plan?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to drop like hints of how a character would escape, given that if they lose. So like, because I think I remember seeing one before, like who's the simp for Sylvanas?
Nathanos. Oh, they forgot about him. I mean, I'm not too upset about that. I hated him. I hated his character.
Yeah.
But they killed him at the start of Shadowlands. Mentioned him once.
Yeah.
Well, they just erased
He's
him.
just gone.
So the funny theory was that one of the main head writers basically
Put himself into
self-inserted himself,
as that character, and made it so that that character that he'd self-inserted himself as was like in a relationship with Sylvanas, was like the greatest of this and that, and the other was basically unkillable, and he was the reason why so many things was just like, it was always like, oh, something cool's gonna, oh, never mind, he's ruined it.
It's like,
someone's gonna, he's coming and sit, oh, okay.
It's like, I like douchebag characters. There are great douchebag characters. Like, I think one of the great examples I can think of is like, Walking Dead. Have you heard of Negan?
Yeah.
I like him. He's an asshole. He does some reprehensible crap, but I think he's a great character.
Well, have you played Borderlands 2?
A long time ago.
Okay, so Handsome Jack in that
he's an
was
asshole.
one of the is an incredible character in that, and is actually one of the reasons why that game is so good. Like in the story was, that's why the later ones don't measure up, because a character like that's not in it. But you could do characters like that really well.
You can, and Nathanos
They just didn't.
Just bad. This has become WoW lore. My bad. But
Yeah, sorry. Like, there's so many people who don't give a shit about WoW. So
it's
sorry.
just like, because it started from Overwatch, and the fact of the matter is, a lot of us played WoW, a lot of us are invested with that, a lot of us are invested with the Blizzard games. For me, the big one we started talking about was Overwatch, and we want to go back to it. I'm interested to see what they'll do, but I'm like,
it's hard not.
I can't say I'm going to touch it.
It's hard not to sit here and be cynical about it and be like, look, nothing's going to happen.
And I will say again, no hate to the development team. I'm sure they're heartbroken over it, because that's 4 years that we know of.
Yeah.
That they put into that.
You know
And
the,
even more time before that.
You know the guy who self-inserted himself? How did like none of the other writing staff not click?
Just in charge.
I think from what I understand,
Like why didn't somebody be like, this is fucking weird? Maybe they were like together being like, this is definitely him, and this is weird.
It's a company where like with a toxic environment in it.
That's true.
If your boss tells you to do something, you're probably so scared of losing
you're
your
gonna
job,
have to
you're
do
not going
it.
to say no. Yeah.
I don't know how accurate this is, but from what I understand upon some of the narrative team and the questing team, some of them are in their own world of such and don't communicate a lot. Because like there are a couple, I saw this pick up like Waking Shores.
Yeah.
There are a couple of side quests that follow similar narratives, and a lot of people were thinking maybe the side quest team don't really talk between each other a lot, so perhaps it's something like that. Although then again, Nathanos is a much more in your face kind of character than some side quests.
It's likely just your boss tells you to do something, you got to do it, sort of thing. You know.
And Shadowlands was kind of crap. I feel like that time.
Sorry.
That time for like World of Warcraft and Overwatch and all that stuff, there was just the scourge.
Yeah.
It was just like there were no employees. There were not like, I don't know, like nothing was being made in Blizzard.
Yeah.
Everything was kind of dead. They let it die, and then obviously World of Warcraft has kind of like sort of revived at the end of it with Dragonflight, but Overwatch is kind of just like withered and died.
They got the shit together a bit for a while. The only thing I worry about with Blizzard in general at the moment, some of these changes, these W's for WoW are coming in now. These are sort of things I imagine they've had in the pipeline for a bit.
Probably.
But one of the big things they had, like it was like a month or so back, is like the leader was like, okay, everyone, mandatory days, you got to come in to work.
Oh.
And I think I think a lot of the work and passion they put into WoW was like they were in an environment of their own home. It was easier to do that, and I'm kind of worried about how that's going to affect their work.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense, because it was probably developed around the time lockdown happened.
Yep.
And that people were able to just stay home and have a healthy-ish work environment.
And of course, that's the lockdown and stuff like that is another reason why Overwatch got delayed and stuff like that. And it's like, it's a shame. And, I feel sympathetic towards the developers as well. But at the same time, as a consumer, I feel shit.
It's kind of funny, though, because like WoW is like, has the best place to tell a story.
Yeah.
Through like quests, cinematics, like the raid and the dungeons and stuff. There's so many ways you can tell a story. And then you compare it to a game like Riot with League of Legends, where the game is literally just a MOBA, and they fucking blew them out of the water with storytelling done outside of the game.
They literally made a fucking animated program that so many people frothing at the mouth for the next season.
So
And
good.
it was so fucking good.
So
And
good.
that is just, that's just
I
fucking
love how
destroyed
that
everything.
started with KDA.
Yeah.
They started with that. They're like, guys, we can do so much more.
I thought it
started with the- I thought it was
Fortiche
the-
guys. Like
yeah, it
they
was
were
the
animating music videos
they
in
did it for
general.
Jinx.
yeah, but it's the team. I think it's the same guy, right? They started with KDA, and then they could see what they could do.
He leaned into. I watched the Arcane documentary thing. It was pretty cool. He leaned into those extra aspects and he tried to pitch more of those ideas for a very long time. His first draft didn't work, and they ended up getting people who could actually write a bit better, bounce more for those.
Yeah, I bet the CEOs of Riot probably sucked his cock clean after Arcane. After he tried for so many years to be like, let's do this. I bet they both took it in turns.
Oh,
They're like,
boy.
you got one hand to go.
They spoke about a lot of pressure about getting it right, and I mean, I imagine there was tons because a lot of video game adaptations fall completely flat.
Trash.
And like, to be
Well,
honest,
season 2 could fail us.
it could,
It
but
could.
it's got a lot to live up to.
I don't see how you... There's so much lore
Yeah,
in the world. There's just so much. Surely they won't fuck it.
they simplified.
I'm
They
sat
simplified a
here,
lot for it.
huffed up on hopium.
Yeah, there's so much. And the thing is, there's so
gonna be
much
good.
established lore.
Yeah,
There's already stories written.
And
Surely
hopefully
they
something
can't
that
fuck it
doesn't
up.
change.
Yeah.
No added characters either.
Yeah, I know that, like they did change a lot of the lore in Arcane.
like of how
Okay
hexa
with it?
crystals work,
Yeah.
and I think the what was it called the actual drug. They
Oh.
had.
Yeah,
I think
that was new.
I think Warwick and Singed have been completely changed.
Warwick's definitely been changed.
Yeah.
The thing is, Singed has always been at odds. His lore and his gameplay are entirely different. It's
remember-
it's insane.
Do you remember when Warwick got turned into a werewolf because he tried to fuck Soraka and she was like, bam, no. Literally went,
You
nah.
remember when Janna's nudes got put in the newspaper?
Oh, yeah.
Was that a thing?
It was like on a splash art
a
or
disgruntled
something, right?
ex. It was in a law post thing. A disgruntled ex put like her lingerie pictures in the newspaper or
Ooh la
something.
la.
So somebody revenge pawned her.
Yeah.
Oh. What are you saying like that?
From
Weird to see that in a game.
Janna's. I think she's from Piltover and Zorn. She's
It
like
would make
a
sense.
she's like a wind sprite or something, and like because
Oh.
people need the air in like Zorn, people like believe in her a lot or something.
Oh.
It's like how she gets
For all the
I might
people
be
who
off.
didn't understand WoW, hope you understand League.
I
Welcome
mate,
to
it's a
League.
rougher kind of words. There's so many diverse cultures and things like that.
And yet
Like,
it's still better than WoW.
it is.
It is.
I mean, they have had their own failures. The Ruination event was kind of shit,
Oh, fuck.
and the Star Guardian event they fumbled massively. But that's another.
But that's
They
like,
have other universes of
alternate-
lore.
yeah, that's
they have
alternate lore.
so many
True.
other universes of lore as well.
Yeah.
It's like I love WoW. I love when the stories are good. Dragonflight's story has maybe been simple,
Yeah.
but it has been a much better than coming back from this cosmic dread crap. I'm still angry they're robots. I'm still angry that they were robots.
Yep.
who are robots?
So the Winter Queen, Denathrius, Jailer, those guys, they're robots.
Essentially, the brain
Really?
behind
Yeah. So
Lich
and also-
King was a robot.
You know what? You know the Winter Queen and
Yeah, I
the Luna
remember-
sisters. That means a Luna is perhaps a robot.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing the jailer. They were like, he made everything happen. He was the strings behind everything.
Yeah.
This whole time
And-
for a decade.
And then when we beat him, we get a cinematic of like all of them like getting angry and like, brother, why? Why did you betray us? Why would you do this? And he goes, you don't understand. I was protecting you from what's to come.
Kringe.
What's to
Kringe.
come? We don't know.
Yeah.
A greater evil.
I was
Oh,
dragons.
and I'm mad again. I'm mad again. I'm mad again. I thought I was apathetic to this. I'm mad again. It's stupid. Oh my god, Dragonflight's fine. Dragonflight's fine. They've taken a step back.
I didn't know the robots.
I'm
bit, and
sorry.
really annoyed now.
Because you didn't do Sepulchre, right?
Yeah, I didn't touch that stuff.
Do you know the prototype fight? Did you hear about the prototypes?
Don't think so.
So basically, one of the fights is you fight the prototypes of
Oh
of
no!
them. So they're like
Arbiters.
robots with souls, kind of. But you fight their prototypes.
They were really cool characters. as well.
Denathrius is super cool, and he's probably coming
Wait,
back.
is he a robot?
Denathrius is a robot. Did you never see the cuts? Did you never
on,
see like the jailer's defeat animation? He gets like so upset. It's like
Kind of withers into the prototype
what's
look.
what's that?
Oh yeah, I just didn't understand what the fuck that was
What's
about.
that? What's that like meme with like he became like the was it Chad and the other thing?
The Virgin in the chat.
The Virgin, yeah, it was like a virgin robot sort of thing. It was like a really soy boy dead face sort of looking thing. I don't know what the memes are. That's why I'm
The
just saying
Virgin
these
and
things.
the Chad.
Kind of like that, yeah. So he turned into a really depressed robot.
Yeah.
I remember that, but I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
So they're all robots.
Yeah.
And what do you do? Plant them there.
So the first ones made them to govern over life and death for
The
like our
afterlife.
characters.
Yeah.
Because Titans, they go somewhere else.
Okay.
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
The first ones, they're gone. Who knows how long? They had predetermined that us, the More Walkers, would come about, so they put these little beacons that we can interact with.
I'm lost.
So was I.
Fuck me. Yeah.
The biggest takeaway was like I can forget about Shadowlands, but I can't forget that Elune might be a robot. Because she has been important for so long.
Yeah. She's been in the game for
And
the
she
very
did
start.
she did a big oopsie. The whole night elves dying in the tree.
Oops.
She was like, I could help, but my sister, she needs these souls. I will let them die so she can fix her forest. Oopsie, they went to the moor instead. Oops.
I love how passionate Stan is about this.
This is the most I've seen Stan angry. He even did the rabbit foot thump thing.
They didn't even. You go to the afterlife of characters, like of a world that has so many characters died. You know, Varian, Saurfang, like even older ones. You could even have a moment with like Jaina and her dad,
Yeah.
perhaps, right? You have all these interactions. You even have Thrall and his mother right there. They do nothing.
Hey son, how you doing? Great, mom. Thanks.
I will say there was the one cinematic with Anduin. You break him through. First half, good. Don't want to talk about the second half.
Okay.
Not
cool.
talking about the second half because that ruins Arthas. Whatever. Not going to talk about that. But Anduin is two dads. That was kind of cool.
Anduin is
Anduin's two dads. So basically, Anduin was corrupted.
right.
And we start beating him in the fight. He has like a vision moment, and like he gets a hand on his shoulder. And he goes, "My son, it's Variant, it's a vision, whatever." We don't know.
Okay.
And then he gets another hand on his shoulder. It's Saurfang, his two dads. Because you know, like during BFA, they had those big budget cinematics, and they
Man,
had
I didn't
Anduin
know.
and
I didn't
stuff.
know. Orcs
Yeah.
And humans made
His
kids.
two dads
fucking
came
hell.
to save him in his moment of need. That was great. I don't want to talk about the office thing. I'm not.
We're not going to talk
I'm not
about
ready
that
for
because
that.
I'm going to get angry.
I'm
and,
sorry.
And it's almost, we've almost been recording
I'm
for 2
so
hours.
sorry.
I
I'm
think
so sorry.
Don't apologize. Mate, I've absolutely adored seeing you do that. Like, mate, I'm gonna fucking bring you back on
I will
next time.
happily
We're
watch
gonna
Stan
go.
get angry
Look,
over WoW.
here's the thing, right?
We're
I'm
gonna have a segment of Stan's Wowlaw
I'm
anger next
trying
time.
to remember it well. And if I have misremembered something, it's not because I didn't care. It's because they hid it in a stupid place that I couldn't find it. In some
Sounds about
dialogue
right.
somewhere. Because, like, the whole thing... So the last patch... The last patch
gone again.
of
He's
Shadow...
fucking gone
I'm
again.
sorry, the last patch of Shadowlands, you're in this primordial place, or whatever, very start of, like, things. And if you want to find out about it, I'll go find some notes in the world. The NPCs don't really talk about it. They don't really explain
Yeah.
much. You've got to find these notes. You've got to read into them and then decipher what that means. And I may have not read those properly. Who would?
I don't know.
Why? Why?
Noble.
He got deflated by it too.
True. I mean,
I watched the video. He seemed so upset, and I felt so bad for him.
I went to a stream and I asked about Taronda, and it like is disheartening so much that like Noble has been a part of World of Warcraft. I don't know anything about lore. It's because of Novel that I know anything about lore.
He started me off with
Yeah,
how much
exactly,
I love
right.
lore.
It's thanks to Novel that I know so much about World of Warcraft lore and why I love the world, right? Then I go into a stream and I ask about Tyrande, and I could just hear it in his voice that he absolutely loathes the game now, and the story is just absolute crap. And I'm like, what's the point?
The thing is, I do want to bring back. This is a lot of feelings for Shadowlands, but I do want to say, Dragonflight's been lovely. The story's been very chill. It's when they're not dealing with cosmic stuff that they don't know how to write, and they stick with a grounded story with freaking dragons. It's decent.
And people want to fuck dragons, so why not?
Yeah, why
You know
not?
what WoW should do? They should do exactly like FNAF and all these other mascot horrors do. You keep it vague. People come up with theories. And you steal the theories.
Yeah.
And they say they're yours. And then they're good.
Well, that
And
was
you're like, yeah, that's exactly what happened right there.
well,
Yeah.
that was one of the things that they like to do with. You remember Il'gynoth, the big weird pussy thing in the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had little whispers. He had little whispers that you'd hear
Emerald
from
Knight,
sometimes,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
those were vague lines that could mean this or that, and people speculated. They went wild for it for a long time, and then they did some little payoffs on that, and people liked that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the Dragon Flight story is hinting at some old god stuff now?
It's
Are we
the
gonna
Void.
Are we gonna do some Void stuff after that?
Sakarath's fight takes us into a room full of like void
Flower
entities,
void,
and
yeah.
the whole fight is centered around void stuff.
Yeah.
But basically,
Who's the big bad and Void stuff?
Void
The
Lords?
Void Lords,
We
they
don't.
don't
I don't think we
evolve.
have a name to them. All we know is that Void Lords go and spit out old gods onto planets.
Oh, cool.
That's all we really know.
Here's how you fix WoW, right? You write a basic story like Dragonflight, and then you have random characters drop the most insane fucking lines, right? Like, the old dog is going to come for his master, right?
Yeah.
And then people speculate, and you steal it. And that's your next
And
expansion.
you find the most outrageous theory and go, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you find the
that was
theory
one.
that ties everything in the world together, and you take it. And then the next expansion, while that's going on, you drop another fucking insane line.
You know what I find refreshing-ish in Dragonflight?
Yeah.
Is that these characters that have been in the old world, like, are kind of retired now, kind of put to the side. I don't know. Like, Tyrande and, what is his name?
Malfurion.
Malfurion have been used. Like, they've been through the entirety of the thing.
They did stuff with
They've
them
been
this
used,
expansion.
they're old, and they're not wanted.
Yeah, like, let them
they're
rest.
Not, they're not
Well, I mean-
sexy anymore.
I mean,
They've had their
Malfurion
time.
is kind of resting.
True, but like they've just like they've come up again and again and again and again. Like, where's Illidan's in space now, isn't he?
Illidan is being a space jailer for Sargeras.
Yeah, there you go.
They were like Illidan's cool, Sargeras is cool. We're gonna put him in our pocket for a bit.
Yeah, put him in space.
That's what they've done with Sylvanas as well. It's like
Put him in the mall.
I was on copium for so long with Sylvanas.
I mean,
But they put her in the maw. There's like go find the souls, do your thing, come back in like
see,
two
that's why I'm
expansions.
happy with Dragonflight, that these characters are not there in a way. Like, we only have like
It's a new story.
yeah, and then I feel like it gives a chance as well to make new characters.
Well,
for
I mean,
you to
we like this patch especially has been Emberthal and
Yeah.
Abyssian and Sibelian and Wrathian.
yeah. Sibelian is new. We
Well,
obviously
Sibelian
know
was
Wrathian.
in
He was in
BC.
TBC.
Oh, TBC. Okay, never mind.
But he's a character that had been forgotten about for a very long time.
yeah. Okay.
You just need to make an interesting little thing where you cultivate characters and experience their stories, and they go off and do stuff, and it's nice.
Yeah.
It's like with a D&D movie, where if they make a D&D 2 movie, it should just be a completely new cast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
just
remember
have
saying
that.
this in the cinema. I was like, D&D is a massive, massive world.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't do a sequel to the same characters.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
just gonna be boring.
I do
and,
like Chris Pine. I think he's funny, and that bit where he's fucking melting
It's
was one of the most
hilarious.
hauntingly funny things I've seen.
It's so good.
But I just want to see a new cast,
Yeah.
cast in a new adventure somewhere else, because the film came across like it was a one shot,
Yeah.
like a one shot story done between mates at a table. Do another one.
D&D does lend itself very easily to that sort of credence.
Yeah.
So,
It's a little bit different with
There's a
World
lot of
Warcraft, though.
pre-established stories as well in that world.
I mean, in that world, sorry, not just D&D. So I've still not seen that movie.
Don't know.
No.
Oh, it's fucking good.
I've
You
heard
should watch
good
it.
things. It's like,
I thought it was gonna be Gash, and I watched the whole thing. And I was like, that's fucking class. The amount of references to
They-
the world is awesome.
They basically like reference like different places, like
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, for instance.
Neverwinter.
that's cool.
And but it's its own contained story that is just
No, but like from what you guys have said and from what I've heard, it seems like it's a good thing.
It was honestly, for everybody who's hearing this, Stan included, fucking watch that film. It's good. It was really, it's better than you think it'll be.
It even like I don't play D&D. I've only played 2 sessions and it didn't last long, so I don't know nothing about D&D and the world, right? But even I know about Baldur's Gate and the game came out. So watching the movie and then hearing the character speak about something that pre-exists in the world, and I sort of know what it is, and then I already know what classes there are and races, kind of like it makes it more real, makes it more like, I don't know, it has a stronger setting.
That Leonardo DiCaprio thing where you're like, oh!
Yeah. Without spoiling it for Stan, you know there's other like, there were other adventurer groups a bit later in the film, and they had like really weird outfits. That was a reference to the cartoon. All the characters in the cartoon, they were the real life versions of them.
The fucking eagle head, how they made that eagle head, it was insane.
Yeah, they did a lot of
practical effects.
And while it looks goofy, it's also like, that's fucking sick.
That's so cool.
It was very cool.
Like, because they've done it before in older films, like someone would have like a puppet head, right? But it looks awful. But it's sort of like an homage to how they used to do it. Instead of just doing it like CGI, which they definitely could, instead they took the time and effort into sort of making this homage to older films to make a really properly good puppet head.
Practical effects are just generally really cool, especially those that are able to actually do it well.
Even if they look a little bit goofy, they age better than CGI.
Yeah,
I like to think anyway.
It's like wasn't the original Jurassic Park like practical?
I think so. A lot of the older stuff was and it does hold up well.
Yeah,
cool.
It especially works with like when you do dismemberment stuff. It's why even like Saving Private Ryan to this day looks so like visceral. You know, it's a lot of practical stuff.
Still haven't seen that movie.
It's fucking good.
I need to go watch it.
It's a good film.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Saving Private Ryan?
No, I haven't.
You missed the bit where he shaves his private.
Oh no!
Haven't seen it.
Does he not save his private?
No, he shaves her.
Oh, he shaves his private.
It's Shaving Private Ryan.
Oh, Shaving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
His dick's the Private Ryan. And
Why would they shave Private Ryan?
To make it look bigger.
Right. Okay.
It's a good film. It's very
you
especially
said people that went to war connect to it because it was really real.
People who were present in World War II said there was an extremely accurate representation. Obviously, them going there to save a single soldier. The premise at the start of the film is they're saving a dude.
Yeah. Wait, they're not shaving his balls?
No.
That's afterwards.
That's after. They're saving him because all of his other brothers have died in the war, and they just want to save this mother, her last son, basically.
Okay.
It's a bit of a weird one. Like, they come to the door to say, like, your son has died.
Yeah.
And it's every one of her sons except Ryan. So they go out there, a unit, to go find Ryan and just take him out of the war.
Sounds like a little bit of suspension of disbelief, but otherwise it's...
I don't know what happened to the war. Maybe they could have.
You have to have a reason to have a story to tell in a setting like I get it, but it's very unrealistic.
The D-Day scene is fucking grim.
It's probably grim. Before we go into D&D, D-Day, we're going to stop. It's been fucking 2 hours, so...
we just wanted to talk about...
That was a long one.
We wanted to talk about Overwatch, and I kind of, oops.
It's good.
I can't help it, man. I like...
Stan, I would sit here and watch you complain about WoW all day.
Same.
Oh, mate,
it's so funny.
And the thing is, like, I'm not going on another small... It's a small thing.
No, go on, King.
The thing that
pop off, King.
The thing that compounded like the more bitter feelings as well was that the gameplay was shit at the time. At least to me, I thought I found it shit, and I tried to do a good chunk. I did my KSMs, I got my curve. The only thing I didn't participate in was PvP. It's like the gameplay was just trash, and then the story was trash, and I felt deflated, and I just didn't want to play, but I did play. Maybe I did that to myself. I love that world. I love those characters. I spent so much time and investment. I got the lore books. I got books. I got...
Stan.
Dragonflight's good, though.
Next year, I'll have been playing the game for 20 years.
Has it really been out that long?
Yes.
It's... man.
2004, yeah.
I can't tell you how much World of Warcraft is rooted into me as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Stayed with me for years.
Why do the orcs keep fighting the humans when the humans have guns?
The orcs have... The orcs... The goblins have guns that they gave to the orcs. Why?
Yeah, what's that samurai film? I think it was with Tom Cruise, and they basically charged at the Gatling guns.
Oh, I don't know.
It's
don't
The
know.
Last Samurai, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Humans have gun. Why orc no die?
Thick skin?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like the thing from Indiana Jones where that dude comes out with a sword and he's fucking waving it all over
Yeah,
the
and he
place.
shoots him.
And he
Have
just
you heard the
goes-
story behind that though?
Wasn't it improv?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was incredibly. No, I thought it was because he was incredibly ill at the time that
Oh.
he couldn't do the choreography.
I thought he forgot. I thought he was like, I forgot my line.
Yeah, they put a blank in the
That's
gun
what
for
I
the
do.
line.
When I forget my line, I just shoot someone.
I'm pretty sure.
I just like... Man, Dragonflight's at least better. I just...
They have they've made a
Lovely
good
game.
base, right? They've made a really good base to tell a good story. Now it's just a time thing where they take the opportunity to turn it into something even better.
I'm not sure where they could screw it. They don't have someone who's
Mate,
apparently been in the story for years.
They
Fucking
screwed it
spaceman-
before.
Spaceman Illidan comes back.
He was suffering from dysentery at the time, and he could only film at intervals of 10 minutes per take.
Oh.
So rather than have this lengthy choreographed scene where he's fighting, he just shoots him. Which, I'll be honest, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Does dysentery make you shit a lot?
He could only film for 10 minutes at a time.
So he's like,
Isn't,
all right, I gotta go poo. He comes out. He's like, all right, boys, 10 minutes start. Let's go.
isn't dysentery a thing that you die from?
I mean, modern age and modern
Well,
medicine
he's making
has
Indiana
progressed.
Jones again, so he's not dead.
Not yet.
Haven't they been filming that for years?
I mean, they made the
Pass.
crystal skull, which was really bad.
yeah,
and
it
then
causes
they made the new one.
diarrhea containing blood or mucus.
Oh.
He was literally shitting
every
between
10 minutes he had
takes.
to shit.
All right. With that, thanks for watching. We've been Stan, Ebbs, Kaif, and myself.
Bye.
Who are you?
Bye.
Come.